elaborate some of your musical influences?
I get a lot of guitar tapping techniques from Dave Knudsen from Minus the Bear. I've listened to a lot of Godspeed You Black Emperor, Zeros, Explosions in the Sky, stuff like that.
It's almost over, it's just begun. Don't overthink this, look in my eye. Don't be scared, don't be shy, come on in, the water's...
Neat Nation, welcome back to the Droopy Whiskey Show.
Everyone, what is going on? It is Brian.
Neat Nation.
Everyone, what is going on? It is Brian. We are back.
Neat Nation, welcome back.
Everyone, what is going on? It is Brian. What? What's going on, everybody? I'm chilling here. Old-fashioned it up. What in all my dudes? I've got a special dude that we're just...
Yo! What's good, man?
Dude, I didn't think about this when I set up the old thumbnail with the... let me see if I can change this background to talk about tonight. We can actually see it. Everybody, I have my friend Tim on the show. You all probably know him as Single Barrel Snob, the one, the only, holding down in several spots, has been in Louisville, whiskey community, picks, stores, bars, you name it. You also know him doing Monday SOX with Jack the Hood Sommelier. But tonight, there is no Hood. And tonight, there is no Drew. And tonight, there is going to be a lot of fun. So let me, while we're here, I'm going to try and get this thumbnail to look a little bit sharper. What's going on, dude?
I just got back from Louisville Thoroughbred Society. There was
cool.
a cigar release. My buddies over at Single Barrel Cigar Company. This is pretty cool. Is that so? They age their tobacco in bourbon barrels for like 8 to 10 weeks, and then when they package their cigars, they put a little bit of the wet barrel char in the bottom of the packaging, so it kind of acts as its own little like internal humidor. So like this doesn't, you don't have to do anything with this. And it's just going to get better as it ages with the char that's in the little tube. Pretty cool thing. Probably going to partner with them, hence my name and their name. We're talking about it tonight. I think it's going to work out. It's going to be fun. Real easy to smoke cigar. Not super robust. Pairs really well with whiskey, obviously. It was aged in whiskey. I had John Waddell from Stave & Bean Coffee Company. He roasts his coffee. Actually, you know all about that. He was there. We're doing a little coffee pairing with these cigars, and it was a blast. It went fantastic.
Dude, when is he not doing something? I've never met a guy who goes as hard as that dude does.
That guy hustles harder than any motherfucker I've met.
To be young and not married and able to do all that stuff again. I mean, I don't want to imagine. I'm like very happy with my life, but that dude definitely
100% happy with my life.
Makes it happen.
But that dude, I'll tell you what. Oh man. Shout out to you, John.
Let me I always try. I'm so behind here. Hold on. I'm normally throwing out the comments, and I'm so behind while we're chatting. I'm glad you're here. I'm glad you made it back from Thoroughbred Society. I messaged him and I said, "Do you want to jump on here?" And in not a lot of time, he did. So Tom's calling me a sucker because like 40 minutes ago we were trying to figure out whether I was going to go live, and I was like, I'll do it. I'll do it. Eric's pop them comment is in reference to one of the topics for tonight, which is you all remember the last live I was on. Tim, you do not. I can go into the story a little bit, but my Driftless picks from our Driftless picks that we did, mine are MIA. I'll give the updated information. However,
wait, what?
I'll get there. But whose picks are not MIA are Drew's, because he mails them to my house. And so I'll go ahead and say it. If I can cover Drew's bottles in the event that mine don't show up and I need to pay him back and he never see his bottles, let's say if we get to $50 in super chats, I'll say sorry. I'll say sorry, Drew, and I'll pop his bottles and give you guys a cap.
What's the bottle I got from you? Was it this guy?
You got the Middle West Spirits, dude. If you've not opened, have you had it yet? Yeah, you have.
Oh yeah, I couldn't remember if that was the one I got from you or not.
Yeah, man. Oh my gosh, dude, we have so much we could talk about. We have so much.
I know.
Kyle Ramage, what is up, my guy?
What up,
we had Single Bear Snob obviously in the house. Peter, what is going on, Peter? Yeah, this Drew, he's doing some stuff. Seems to be all good. He probably wasn't on the green shirt message like you and I were, but that's okay. He's doing some stuff. We'll learn about that, eventually. And for now, he's just a guy who has a cameo in the intro now. So, man, y'all are lighting it up right now. Okay, here we go. We're here. Y'all see news about the new Coy Hill release? Yes. Dude, if it's only 2 hours, I think you should go. I did see an update on the line. There's only like 30 people in there. You should go. I don't have a photo. Hold on, maybe I can get it uploaded. It can't. So I would say if it's only a 2 hour drive, dude, go get it. It's like you have like a guarantee you're gonna get one, right? So I would go. The one that I tried, I was telling Tim earlier, is like 153.2 proof, and it smelled incredible. It smelled like High Angel Share Batch 1, which people know I love. King of Kentucky, you all know I love. Take a shot. And it's it tastes like fire and birthday cake. So much brown sugar, a lot of good sweetness. I mean, I'd have to put it side by side with a single barrel to say, like, is it better? I mean, it's the same thing. It's just,
sure.
I know they're doing 5 batches, so there might be some different stuff. I mean, Kate, like
140 something to like 150 something, right?
How early do you all think I should get there? I mean, do you have earbuds? Can you listen to the stream while you're waiting in line? Like, go right now.
Go.
Just go. I mean, it's not really worth that for sure. But I for any release, I would always say, like, if you're not there by 6 a.m., if it opens at 9, like, you can't complain about missing out or not getting something cool.
So Heaven Hill did a release last night or this morning of the 17-year-old Heaven Hill, and you and I have a mutual friend who was there, I guess, at 10 o'clock last night, and dude didn't get a bottle. That's a real bummer. Hard. That's a huge bummer.
Yeah, and I remember I felt bad because I was like telling him, like, oh man, if you're already there, all you would do is go home and sleep anyway, so just stay. So I felt bad for encouraging that, but that's the roll of the dice, dude. You got to get in that camping life. Here's one thing I'll say. This is not heard as any judgment. No one take it like that. You just kind of tell the difference between like Kentucky life and not Kentucky life. Like I'll have a buddy in Ohio, not Tom Lynch, good buddy in Ohio, not him. I have another buddy. He loves whiskey, messages me stuff all the time. And he'll be like, dude, my spot is releasing E.H. Taylor barrel proof tomorrow. I'm like, okay. I'm like, guaranteed? He's like, guaranteed. Like if I show up, I'd get one. I'm like, okay. I'm like, well then why don't you get there? He's like, no, dude, I'd have to show up at like 6 a.m. I'm like, yeah, it's like 3 hours of waiting. He's like, I know. I'm like, you're telling me if you got there at 6 a.m., without a shadow of doubt, you would get one. He's like, yes, dude. And I'm like, it's just 3 hours for EH Tail barrel proof. Like I would do, like if I knew all I had to do was wait 3 hours, I'd do it all day. Well, I wouldn't. I would do it for 3 hours a day. But you know what I'm saying? Like
3 hours every day, all day, I'd do it.
Yeah, you got a buddy who went in last night, and he's like, yeah, I'm going to sleep all night to wait for this. I did the same thing for Weller CYPB when it first dropped. But this guy, I think the thing that's weird is sometimes people are like, man, I just don't get anything. I'm like, but it only took you 3 hours to get something pretty dope. Again, no shade. I just find it interesting, the difference between people in Kentucky. People in Kentucky will camp for 5 days without peeing or pee under a bridge to get a birthday bourbon. And everyone knows birthday bourbon sucks.
It's on the level of Star Wars nerds when Star Wars was being re-released. And there was like people camping in line to see episode 1, weeks ahead of time. I mean, I say Kentucky bourbon people are, well, maybe they're not bourbon people, but Kentucky bottle flippers, because let's call it what it is. That's pretty much what they are. But I mean, they'll do it.
Tom,
good for them.
Tom's throwing out comments he shouldn't. I even highlighted it. Tom, don't do that. Shh. Get out of here with that nonsense, Tom. That's secret information. Yeah, you guys do that for beer
in Wisconsin. There you go.
There you go. What else is I gonna? Gosh, Tom is trying to ruin all the good stuff. Speaking of stuff like that. Well, I'll talk to you here in a minute too. I want to ask you. That's not even part of this thing. I want to talk. You were on some picks this week, so we could talk about some of that stuff. But first, what are you drinking?
Oh, buddy. Well, I have 2 things I'm drinking. The first thing I'm drinking right now.
Okay. Which pick is that?
Baker's. This is 13.
Okay, so not one of the store picks. It's just Baker's 13.
Not one of the store picks. Baker's 13. I got to try this when it was first released, and I fell in love with it and was never able to get a bottle. And through a series of events, here it is. I'm drinking the shit out of it. I love it.
I tried so hard because a lot of stores around release those. I couldn't get one to save my life. It's like I'm headed one direction in town, and then somebody's like, it's releasing here. And I'm like, son of a gun. And I mean, I felt like I was always near the releases. Never could make them happen.
So I was at a buddy's house. There was this launch party for Alan Bishop and a movie they made about him. Alan Bishop's the head distiller at Spirits of French Lick, and they made a movie about essentially his life and distilling career. And after that, I went to the basement speakeasy. What is it? The Card Catalog Speakeasy. You can look it up on Instagram.
Speakeasy. Yeah, never been
Card
there.
Catalog Speakeasy. And I slipped in a bottle that we were drinking at the launch party. It was a 1968 Heaven Hill Bonded. It was good, but it didn't blow my socks off. And so I slid it into his little library and said, hey, share this with whoever. And towards the end of the night, we ended up opening this bottle. And he was like, I hate that. I hate it so much. I don't even know why I got it. And I was like, I'll take it. He's like, okay. So essentially I traded part of an old Dusty for a bottle, and I've put a little dent in it so far.
Put some work on it.
I'll take it.
Have you tried the Calumet 16 yet?
I have, and I thought it was really good, but I still think the 15 is my favorite.
Yeah,
the 15 the 16 was surprisingly sweeter and less oaky.
16 was, or 15 was?
16 was. I feel like 15 had a little more body, a little more of that barrel character, a little more of that, rick house floor, if you will, or tad of a medicinal note. That note, those notes I always talk about that I like. A lot of those notes that I find in this thing, and the bonded turkey and the Four Roses Limited 2021 and the Remus 5. I could go on. I could keep talking about finding that note. But yeah, anytime that note shows up, I'm going to chase that bottle.
Yeah. I, as of right now, just sipping my wife wanted old fashions and key lime pie. That's the go-to. Old fashions, key lime pie. So I went and grabbed some key lime pie. Our favorite place that you hear me talk about in some of the reviews, Homemade Ice Cream and Pie Kitchen. They were out. And so I had to just get something from Kroger. So I got some of that, and then she actually made the old fashions tonight because I came home and started getting this set up. So she made us some old fashions, and the whiskey of choice that we're using is this Wilderness Trail 4-year 2-month.
Man, I love their
right here.
whiskey. I love their rye.
Yeah, super tasty stuff. I'm looking through some notes right now too. Let's see who else is here. We got Peter's drinking the limousine. I always forget what Drew said it was. The limousine 6-year. Loves the Cal 16. Kyle Ramage. Virtual wine event. There you go. We got Cade back here. Went to a new store this morning. Had Cal 14, 15, 16. The last Craig toasted. All sitting on the shelf. Did you buy them all? Here soon too. What I'm going to get into. I did this the last time I did a Abandoned Bourbon live stream without Drew. I tasted through these Westland samples that our friend Porkins gave us. How familiar are you with Westland?
I don't even, that name doesn't even sound familiar.
West might have these bottles like this doing American single malts out of Seattle.
Okay.
And then they're doing like 5 malt blends and stuff like that too. He sent me a flight of a whole bunch of them. I felt a touch under the weather, but I think I did a pretty good job at describing some of the differences between. There's a couple of different ones. There was a 5 malt that was finished in a tequila cask. There was a 5 malt that was finished in red wine, and we're talking about decent proofs. And these things are like 7 years old, man. Their own distillate, I'm pretty sure. This one that I liked pretty well was its 7-year total maturation, a 5 malt bill in Pinot de Chiron barrels for 3 years, and
for 3 years.
And I did reconfirm with Westland that they still have them in the gift shop. So I haven't seen Porkins in the chat yet. If he jumps in, I'm definitely gonna have to see if he'll run out there and pick that up. There's another one, Washington Select Pale Malt. It's some brewer's yeast thing. Another one that's in like a bunch of ex-bourbon and like Syrah. One of these, the one that was in the tequila, was a rare bird pick, really funky. I want to try through them again. So, and I might, it's going to be old news to a lot of people because they saw me do it on the last live stream. I'll probably taste them again. I probably won't be too descriptive. I'll just taste it in the background when we talk. But I probably will do a video on this because I don't see a lot of content about Westland out there. So I'll probably do a video because I still have, an ounce, I would say at least. Well, the one I really like is almost gone. So I'm just gonna sample it a little bit again tonight. But the other ones I'll probably try and get a good rundown for a video just to kind of do a review on those. But one thing I'm curious to, so I did message him and told him about the Middle West Spirit pick, and he picked one of those up. So Nation has already gotten their Middle West Spirits pick. That pick came and went. It sold out. I'd love to, if you don't mind pouring some, I'd love to hear what you.
I just finished my baker, so let's get into this.
And then I'm also looking. I'll get into the story with you about. Oh my gosh, are they sold out? Shoot fire, they might be.
This guy?
We have I'll open them up while you're talking. I've got these Driftless Glen picks. Oh no, they're still here. There's still our Driftless Glen Rye and our Driftless Glen Bourbon are still available in Steelbox.
I'm super impressed with what they're doing right now. Okay? This isn't a plug. I'm just genuinely curious.
Oh, go ahead.
Is there like a code that we all need to get on there and get bottles, or do we just like search for the show? Like, how do we get a bottle? How does that happen?
I'll drop links in here. Let me
cool.
Here we go. Yeah. For anyone who did, I mean, most of Nation, they're already on this, but there are still some of these bottles left. So let me throw these in the chat. Here we are. The it's not protected anymore. So this is our single barrel bourbon. I'm so surprised if this is actually true that these are still available. I'm getting ready to try and do a look-see to see how many of these are available. Our rye is still available. This rye was a 30-gallon barrel rye. It only yielded like I don't know. I think it's because Drew never did a live specifically on it. We haven't done a live since, and he's kind of not been doing as much whiskey content. There was
Sure.
only like 60, 65 bottles of this rye. And
For a 30-gallon barrel?
yeah.
Wow.
And it's insane. Let me try. I'm trying to see how many bottles are left. Last I looked, there might have only been like 15 or something like that. Update this cart and see what it says. Yeah, that's still, there's like 15 bottles of that left. The Bourbon, which is fine. We did that like almost immediately after. What was the last pick? The Middle West. Middle West pick came almost immediately after that, so or before that. So it was a lot to hit all at once.
Sure.
Or in rapid succession. I know a lot of people don't know a whole lot about the Driftless, but anyway, they're still available. And I have a story. I'll talk about them, but I do have Drew's bottles right here. So while you're talking, I'm going to unpack this box to try and further lure people into having me pop his bottles and drink them live on air. So, okay. Yeah. Do it.
So first of all, I got to give a shout out to Wisdom.
Dunk.
I don't know if you know about Wisdom Glass, but I personally really enjoy drinking out of like a really heavy rocks glass. I like the feeling of like a big rocks glass in my hand, drinking whiskey out of it. But to actually like write about something or talk about something or really dive into something as far as what's going on with it, you gotta have that tulip shape. That's just you have to, right? A wisdom glass.
Show me that glass one more time. Okay.
Wisdom glass is the best of both worlds because this thing is thick and clunky, and you got that tulip shape. I mean, this has become one of my favorite glasses because it checks both boxes for me. I think anytime that you can combine two things that you really like into one thing, shit, man, I'm all about that. So,
yeah,
Wisdom, check it out. Thanks for the glass, guys. Appreciate it. Thank you, Wisdom. But yeah, that's what I'm drinking out of, and I'm a fan.
I don't have any of them here, but let me see. No, I don't have any over there either. I'll have to wait till next live. There's a couple of glasses I saw that I've gotten lately. They're just not easily accessible, and I'm not going to get up for them. That look similar shape, but they're not that. They're not that.
And the other thing too is like, if you're drinking with other people and you get, everyone's in a Glen, and let's say, we're locked in a conversation. I'm all about keeping eye contact when you're having a conversation with somebody. And a lot of times we're drinking from a Glen. You gotta break eye contact to take a drink. That's what I like about this. You don't really have to break eye contact. And that's what I really like about the Norland glass too. Shout out to Norland glass because same kind of concept. But you don't have to break any eye contact.
Dude, I'd love to see you try these sometime. Hold on, let me get my camera to zoom on this real quick, or not zoom, but tighten on this. Look at these little glasses right here. This is what I've been using lately.
Oh wow. Okay.
A 6-pack of these at World Market, like $7.
Okay. How is it as far as nosing stuff though?
It's great. I love drinking out of them. I love it. I mean, I haven't compared it to stuff, but I love it. I'm going to highlight quick this thing from Tom Lynch. I did not see Ruja post that, but I did see the post that they're moving to 53 gallons for the Middle West stuff now. Really curious to see what that's going to be. I'm curious to try that rye, but not curious enough to have you go get me one. So, I mean, I'd be down to like split with you or something. Yeah, this box, if I've opened the right one, should be Eric Sawyer's and Drew's Driftless picks. I don't know if he ordered for anybody else, but let's see. We got Big Deck Energies in. Oh my gosh, it's the first one I pull out. Big Deck Energy. Did anybody else? I don't even know if we've gone live since these went up. Did anybody else get these? And does anybody else want to pop them? Or has anyone else popped these already? I completely forgot that these have been available for so long that surely somebody has dug into this already. Let's see. The story on Big Deck Energy, which is this rye, that's a 30-gallon rye, low yield. It tastes like a peach mint julep in a glass. It's like this intense peach sweetness. with a bunch of sweet mint. It's just a perfect deck season chuggable goodness. I don't see any. There's no bourbons in here. These are all ryes, man. Hold on. Is this a bourbon? Yeah, here we go. This is a bourbon. I think that might have been true. I think you might have done. Mine are arriving tomorrow. We're sitting at Sealbox for 2 weeks. I'll give you guys the update. Okay, Tim, I'll fill you in on the story.
Yeah.
Nation already knows what's up, and then I'll tell everyone the status. Because just Tom was going to help me out with this. I took the pictures off, so I don't have them on here anymore. But if anyone was on my live, they remember that, a month, 2 months, whenever it was ago, we went on vacation in South Carolina. And while we were there, Blake basically sent me my Middle West Spirit bottles to the spot in South Carolina. It was fun. It was great. Got the chance to dig into those while I was there. All fun and dandy. Get back home and I get a message from some rando on Instagram who says, oh, here it is right here. Let me pull it up so you can peep it out.
Oh, no.
Get this message from this guy saying, hey, we're staying in the same house you were in.
Oh,
UPS
God.
arrived with 4 bourbon bottles. How do you know there's 4 bourbon bottles? Because you opened it. You want us to do anything with them? Can we drink them? Certainly cannot. And
no.
I'm trying to figure out, then he sent me this kind picture of,
no.
sent me this super kind picture of my bottles here.
No.
Of which I said, hey, dude, I'll get a new label issued out. Just get that stuff back on its way to me. And the thing is, though, there's no printer in the house. And I'm like, well, what can I do? So I looked it up. I tried to figure out if UPS can just bring a label. UPS says they can bring a label. After waiting, UPS doesn't bring a label. And I talked to UPS and well, we can't do that. When you make the label, it has to be, you have to basically make a contract with the driver that they know to bring the label. Anyway, the people are checking out. And so I'm like, what am I going to do about this? Nothing's happening. And so I was like, oh, I should have just thought about this before. I'll contact the rental property. This is the new information for everybody. Contacted the rental property and said, hey, there's this box. Can you all just pick it up when the people come out and hold on to it? And I've got my in-laws are coming to town soon. Tom Lynch heading down that way soon. Somebody could pick up the box for me. Is that okay? They said, yeah, we'll send someone over right now to pick it up. Awesome. I email the next week, which happens to be beginning of this week. And I said, hey, this is me. I'm the guy with the box, mistakenly delivered. Can I send you a label? I got a label already made up. Can somebody either just tape it up, slap a label on it, and get it on its way to me? Or can I ensure that it's being held for someone to pick it up? So somebody tagged me on with somebody else, oh, this person will be able to help you. I'm like, okay, great. Can you help me? I'll say the same thing. Do you want me to send a label? And she's like, okay, well, I don't live in South Carolina. I gave it to my sister. She has the box. And I'm like, now there's another random stranger. It started with a random stranger, went to the travel place. This is safe space. Then it's with a rando. Not even just a rando's sister. And so I'm like, okay, rando, what do you want me to do? She's like, well, she lives in Kentucky. I'm like, okay. Your sister lives in Kentucky. What part of Kentucky? I live in Kentucky. She said, Lawrenceburg. I said, Lawrenceburg's not far. I was like, okay. Well, what do I do now? She's like, email my sister. So now I'm emailing the girl's sister of this rando. And so it's left off. I left the email with her saying, person in Lawrenceburg, I'm a stranger, but you apparently have something that belongs to me. Can I send you a label to ship it to me? Will you please just tape it and print the label? I'm trying to get anybody in the world. Literally, I can't even get UPS.
Why do you have
to
to start out the email like a suspenseful movie?
I'm just like, can you just send it to me, or can I come to your house? I said, your sister told me that you have my box. Will you just do me the solid? And now I'm waiting. Maybe she'll email by the time we're done with the stream. So far, no good. So anyway, a complete rando just outside of an hour away from my house might have my bottles of Driftless, and I don't know.
God bless.
So I'm waiting to find out if I'm going to get them.
How did that address stay on file?
I assume it's just the last email address that Sealbox pulled from. But either way, I want to know from Nation, do you all want me to pop this sweet tasting bourbon of Drew's? Sorry, Drew. Or do you want me to pop one of, because I can definitely hit Eric Sawyer back. Eric Sawyer's Big Deck Energy. Do you all want to hear talk about it? Because if I taste them tonight, I could talk about them a little bit more. And if anybody's interested, the links are in the chat. And you can go buy them. And hey, if anybody wants a meetup, we're gonna meet up at Amy's sister's house and get my bottles back. So as soon as I get the address, anybody wants to do a Neat Nation meetup, we're gonna do it at her house. So she's probably watching the stream now, like this guy is fucking nuts. I'm not.
Okay, here's my question.
Coming to meet me in Lawrenceburg.
Fuck, this shit's pissing me off. How did random person staying at the house know to message you? Like
they had to have looked me up because they messaged me on Abandoned Bourbon. So they're like, there's bottles of bourbon. Let's look up Brian Bikey. Found Brian Bikey, found his Instagram, and then messaged me on Instagram. And for a moment, almost ghosted me. And I was like, ha ha ha.
Just kidding.
In the end, I just didn't want I just didn't want
I'm having wardrobe issues over here. I'm hot and sweaty from being out on the deck. My hair won't stay
Tom,
up.
You don't. As far as I know, Tom, you don't have a box in South Carolina. But Twist, I'll probably watch me drive. Oh my gosh, this brings up a bad memory. I'm going to talk about it anyway. Watch me drive to Lawrenceburg and pick up a box that's like full of dildos or something. It's like not even the box. And then somehow the place in
that would be the ultimate switcheroo because 4 bottles of whiskey definitely feels like a box of dildos. They are very similar in weight.
Similar in weight. 4 boxes of bourbon or 4 bottles of bourbon. Okay, here's the story. When I was in high school, me and my friend Danny, he played drums, I played guitar. We're in high school, so we're like chatting people on AOL or something like that. And there are these girls that were like they lived outside of Lexington in I don't know where it's some city that's just south of Lexington. And they're like, hey, it was late. And they're just like, hey, come, we'll like go out to Waffle House or something. And so me and Danny are like, it's only an hour and a half. Sure, we'll do it. So we drive. And then as soon as we started getting into town, then it just got sketched. They're like, oh, we're outside waiting for you. We're like, there's nobody in this neighborhood. They're like, no, we're like right here in the street waving. And we're like, there's literally no one in the street. Are you sure this is the right address? Like, yep, it's at this address. They're like, just park and come to the door. And I'm like, no, this is super sketch. And then another time, I am shitting you not, Tim. We like are driving through this, up and down the street again. And a dude with a baseball bat and a dude with like barbed wire around a stick came chasing after the car. And we booked it back to Louisville. This is like 4:00 in the morning at this point. And we're like, these girls that are real, maybe not real, I don't know, just about like effed us up. And then like, I remember the whole time afterwards, them being like, no, don't come back. It's all a mistake, blah, 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 blah. And we're like, nope.
Sorry, friend. Not happening.
So we get back to Louisville about 6 a.m. and are thankful for our lives. And that's what I think is going to happen in Lawrenceburg if I go. It's probably the same person. Like, oh, fate has brought us together again.
20 years later.
Who would have thought? Time to beat this dude's face with some barbed wire.
Remember the bat? Still got it.
Oh my gosh, I would never leave my house if that literally came full circle again. Like, how do you recover from something like that?
You don't. You freaking don't, man.
Oh my gosh. Okay. Well, last time on the live, people heard me talking about. Wait, did you even talk about the Middle West yet?
You didn't give me a chance. I'm still drinking it though.
I'm gonna stop talking. Go ahead, Ben.
So there's this really cool pie crust thing going on. At the beginning of the palate, and then it's sweet and kind of fruity. I can't quite pinpoint the style of fruit or the style of pie, but I'm a sucker for a piece of pie, and I remember why I hid this bottle behind the other bottles,
Uh-huh.
so I won't drink through it so fast.
That's right. Dude, it's chuggable. It's a good one. We thought one thing that Drew thought when we did that pick was, well, one, when you're doing some of the young distillate stuff like that, like Middle West stuff's pretty young, is like what has the absence of, graininess more than the others. But he thought that it had a little bit of grapes that remind of like low line of products. I feel like it kind of has that kind of honey and cherry sort of thing, like Buffalo Trace stuff will have. We call it Stag Junior Junior.
It's not quite like apple pie, but it's some kind of pie. And I'll tell you, for almost 127 proof, everybody here already knows this, right? They already know about this stuff. Yeah, chuggable is definitely dangerously chuggable is the great way to put it.
It's the weirdest thing because I was reminiscing about some of our picks, and we don't have access to a ton of crazy stuff like some of the other channels and stuff do. But I was like, but what we have brought in our picks? We've brought a lot of incredibly affordable picks. All of our picks have been like
this was
$45 to $65.
Yeah, dude. I always know that either when you've gone on a pick or something, or you've picked something, and not that you go out of your way, but you make it a point to be like, yo, so this happened, and you need it. Like, well, shoot, I need it then. Let's go.
Would you mind, Tim? Would you mind showing up the Middle West Spirit? So Jordan's asking why no tag or sticker on Middle West. So we do have on the side. So it's got a little emblem right there, inch proof, and then on the side it does say inch proof right there too in seal box. So whenever we've done our picks, we've and I suck. Tom will let you know I also suck. So we debated that because we have given some of our picks names. But when we first started working with Sealbox, he's like, it's actually kind of a pain in the ass for us. He's like, we can do stickers. They don't put them on the bottles, legal reasons, I think. They put them in the shipments. He's like, it's just easier for us fulfilling if we don't have to do that. And so we just said we wouldn't do that. We did discuss whether we wanted to get little gold emblem stickers that we could provide via Patreon, because there are times I'm on barrel picks that Drew's not on. There were times that Drew's on barrel picks that I'm not on. And we thought that if you all were interested in like Neat Nation picks, things that are like Drew or I approved, that people could have stickers to put on those. And with the, we did all those picks with Sealbox for of Starlight, but none of them were entry proof picks. They would have been, should he allow us to allocate some of them, but they just went as Sealbox picks. But those would be ones that, you could sticker on them, that they're Nation approved, because of those 13, there were like 5 that we would have put our name on. So things like that are a little bit changed with Drew's status, but I will say for Nation's sake, I am trying to get time on the books where I can fly out to Seattle to do a Westland pick and then to also do a Woodinville pick. I don't think that Drew would be on that with me, but I'm going to try and line it up and make a trip. So if anybody wants to do some Nation picks with me, let me know. Tom Lynch in the chat was on that Middle West Spirits pick with us, and Cam from Drums and Drams was whose stream is on 8:00 just before this, was on that pick as well. And then our buddy Eric Sawyer in the chat, he was on the Driftless picks with us.
Very cool.
Yeah. All right. Well, cool. But you're enjoying that one. Hit it behind the other bottle because you're enjoying it.
Yeah.
Cool.
It's funny because like I'll come across stuff and especially when it comes to barrel picks, and I'll fall in love with it, and then I'll have to hide it because I really like it, and then rediscovering it. Yeah. Which is fine because there's I have a problem as well as you do.
Yeah. Speaking of problems, I'll get into the next problem that I had mentioned. So from the other live, I think people knew about the Father's Day event that I went to. Is that right, Tom? You're the one who tells me what I say. So I went on that Four Roses Father's Day event, first event without my dad. And you all know that I really like Four Roses and have been able to do some fun stuff because of Mellow Moments with him. So it was fun. Had a lot of dudes out there that I knew. It was a good time. We had a good flight. They didn't even tell us what the flight was going to be, but we did get to try the 2020 LE, Al Young, and then one of the 20-year bottles. So I think I did already talk about that already. But this past weekend, what I went to was a giant.
Dude, I heard about this.
Roses.
I heard about this after
bottle
the fact.
share. Yeah.
Was this in Nashville?
It was outside of Nashville in Chapmansboro, Tennessee. I'm going to throw out a couple of slides of just some of the barrels that I tried.
So
that I was
Steve Bourbon was there as well, right?
Yeah, he was. Yep.
Yeah, I figured because he's a big roses nut as well.
Yeah, so they've done so this.
Man, that Woodland Merchant pick, holy
dude!
smokes.
I'm not gonna lie, that Woodland Merchant was one of my favorite ones.
Smokes, bro! That is still that one, and that bottle that you and I split is still like my top 2 favorite Four Roses picks I've ever had. What is that one?
This was a Q. This was one of the Q.
Yeah, it's Q South
51 or something like that.
Barrel
QS,
dude.
QS
yeah, OESK. Yeah,
that thing was straight fire. And then we get into some of these last ones. This one down here in the bottom too. This Cork Dorks US 53. This is a Gold Neck OBSO. I'm happy about trying this one because it was like outside the Woodland. This is another one of my favorite ones I got to try, and I actually got off of Larry Rice, a gift shop US 53 OBSO. So if it's anything as good as this one, I'm in for a real treat when I open it. This one over on the left, that bottom one. That
the last Gold Neck that I had that I liked a whole lot was from it's when Bourbon Hounds was still a thing, and it was from like 2016 or 2017. Their Four Roses pick, holy smokes, dude! And then there's a Silver Dollar pick from around the same time too that was also outstanding.
Yeah, we Yeah, there's been some fire ones. I think that that OBSO I think is my only Gold Neck outside of an Elliott Select. I have an which has a gold tag, but I don't know if you consider it a Gold Neck or not. Maybe you would, maybe you wouldn't. Yeah, so that event was a charity event that I think this is like the 6th or 7th year they've done it for Special Ops Excursions. So Special Ops Excursions is a charity nonprofit. I don't remember exactly what you'd call it, but what it does is they allow and they provide excursions for active military members and their families to do activities together, which is pretty cool. Some of that stuff is kind of over my head. That's not exactly like my arena, but I do know that from this event, they pared down from what they've done previous years, which is like been in an event hall. You have a table that you sit at and like probably have bottles that you taste there. This was a little bit more like casual, less people, more of an open bottle share. Everyone was supposed to bring a bottle. So there was like 300, there's only like 115 people on the VIP list or on the guest list, but there was like 300 open bottles of roses across the multiple rooms that they're in. Incredible, epic bottle share. Got to try a ton of stuff out there. The 2 picks that released at the event, they did one of the HE36, one of the new OESOs we could talk about too, because you get to pick one from this run. And then one of the OESK from the newish run that I've been going after. People on the channel know I've been going after.
The RS run?
No, the QN51 run of OESK. It's a newer run over the last couple of months, and they've been pretty tight. One of the Mellow Moments bottles that they picked with that run. But either way, I got to try those barrels. They were tasty, but through the bottles, through the silent auctions and the live auctions and the donations, I think raised $100,000.
Wow.
From a group of like 100 and something.
Wow,
people.
Dude,
so
that's
pretty
killer.
Cool. Pretty cool. They did. So they released. Let me see here. I got them back here somewhere. So in partnership with Bill's package store, which does great picks anyway. I don't remember if you got one, but I've got a Bill's Knob Creek downstairs that's just fire. So that's the QN51 6C, fantastic bottle. And then let's see, where's this is HE36 3U. So that's you picked in the 2, but I forget what the bottle number specifically is that you got. Oops, it's gonna get it. It'll catch it. So to be honest, dude, I love this too. I don't know what I know you I won't spoil it, but I know you said you weren't as big of a fan of this, but I tell you, I love this bottle more than probably every MW25 OESO that I've tried. And the MW25 run is like the OESOs that have been in for like the last 2 years.
Sure. No, don't get me wrong. I think OESO is fantastic, especially that run. I enjoyed it a whole lot.
What's up, Ryan?
I was bummed because I think that they turned down a really like special barrel, and the reason behind it was because it's the same batch that they picked before. And
back up a little bit. So Tim got a chance to go on a Four Roses pick like 2 days ago or something like that. So why don't you back up and talk about that a little bit?
Yeah, no, that's kind of cool how it happened. It's this group out of Florida, Volusia, Bourbon Society or Bourbon Group or whatever. You can check them out on Instagram, Volusia. Just search that. I know it will come up. But they contacted me and they said, "Hey, we're going to be in town. We'd love to hang out with you." I was like, "Yeah, dude, absolutely." So I met up with them at Repeal. Repeal's this really cool wood fire steakhouse that's here in town. And, we hung out. And then they're like, "Yeah, we're picking Four Roses tomorrow. You should come." And I was like, don't tease me. And I got to go with them to Four Roses. And then the following day after that, I got to go with them to Heaven Hill. But there was this one barrel. And I mean, unanimously across the board, we were all like, that's the fucking barrel. It's like my tasting notes were literally like, holy shit, this is the best effing Four Roses I've ever tasted. And it was 11 year, 3 month from that RS run that we were talking about. And it was just absolutely bananas. Like it was,
do you have a picture of the pick sheet?
I do somewhere. I'd have to dig through it to find it.
Because if you have it, I can send it out to guys and keep a lock on where that barrel goes.
That would be dope. Yeah. I mean, let me do that, and we'll figure that out. But we were all unanimously, and the guy whose liquor store it is, where these picks are actually going to end up, Kenny's Liquors, who's also kind of in this same area that all these guys are from. He goes, not getting it, and I was like, what? What do you mean, Mitch? You're not getting it? Like this is iconic. This is delicious. Because same batch we did last time, but it's different. It's different
barrel.
And they collectively looked at the list and said that saw that there was an OESO on it, and they're all Four Roses fanboys, which is fine. So am I. I know you are as well. And OESOs are always awesome and fun. Anytime it shows up in a tasting panel, you get to go through it and pick it. Sure, go for it. But yeah, I was really bummed out about that. But hey, at the end of the day, wasn't my money. I was super happy to be there and even be a part of it. Great experience. Very cool dudes. But son of a biscuit, that was.
Well, I will tell you this too. I know a buddy who's going to be there tomorrow. And I can also, if you can get me a list of what was there, I can find out if between you and him, it got picked, or if he's part of the group and somehow end up picking it, I'll hopefully be able to track some down.
Let me get a hold of old homegirl and see what I can do.
Yeah, not a big deal.
Because I already told her when I left, I was like, please let me know where this barrel ends up. And she just laughed. I'm like, no. I'm serious.
I don't remember if I got a chance to tell you this, but I went back through the list of when I got a chance to go with what's his face, Whiskey Pete, whatever, like before COVID or whatever. We did the cigar one. I went back and looked. We picked that one because it was weird, and I went back and looked at my notes to figure out what were some of the other ones that I found positive. And I found out that my favorite barrel from that pick actually went to 21C.
Oh, wow.
So I messaged them and I said, hey, I know it's a long shot. I know it was like 2019. Do you have any of this available? And the guy messaged me back and said, we only have one bottle left of it and it's on bar right now. And I need to get down there and get a pour of it before it's gone, or see if I could just buy out the rest of the bottle or something.
I'm actually grabbing my notes, because the barrel that they did pick was actually really funky and weird as well. And I told him, I was like, look, if you want an iconic Four Roses pick that's just going to blow everyone's socks off, and they'll be talking about it for years to come, you need to go with this barrel, this RS run. If you want something really weird and funky and totally off the beaten path, you're going to go with this OESO one. And he's like, that's what I want. It's like, all right, your money, your liquor store.
Every group's got their own prerogative. I've got some of those RS OESFs. We should pop them. I don't think I might have some popped, but I also know I probably have some sealed. I know they're not going to be the same, but we should taste and see if they get anywhere close.
That run is whoo. All right, where are my notes from this? Let's see here.
You were there. Today's Thursday. Were you there yesterday or Tuesday?
I was there Tuesday. Here we go. Musty, Rickhouse Floor,
Let's go.
Bomb Pop, Dairy,
Bring out the
Ice
Bomb
Cream,
Pops.
Dairy
Jeez.
Farm. Okay, so this is the thing, right? So growing up, we would always go to the dairy to get ice cream. And going through it, there was just like this musty, earthy Dairy Farm smell, but it was always ice cream. And it was like Ice Cream Man, Bomb Pop, Vanilla Ice Cream, Dairy Farm. I was like, this is the fucking weirdest Four Roses barrel I have ever tasted, but it is so damn good, but not as good as the other one. But yeah, those were the weirdest notes I've ever gotten off of it.
Remind me again, those notes are for the one you did pick or for the one that you
that
wanted?
that was for the ones we did pick. That was for the OESO 9-year, 4-month that they did pick.
Mm-hmm.
But yeah.
Okay. Well, funky.
Yeah,
was it morning
super
or
funky.
afternoon pick?
Morning 10.
Morning 10. Okay, my buddy tomorrow at least is going to ask Mandy what barrel it was, and hopefully she can find if it did get picked and isn't there, can say where it went to him. He'll text me.
Tell him that it was Kenny Liquors. And the dude with all the tattoos wants to know where his barrel ended up.
Dude, Kenny's Kenny's Liquors does fantastic picks too.
Fuck,
I don't know if
yes,
it's the same
dude.
Kenny's unless there's
it is.
Is it the blue? Is it the blue and yellow logo?
Mm-hmm.
Dude, I've got like one or two Kenny's picks that are in. Dude, he must have had good stuff rolled out to him because I bet he's one of those stores that gets good stuff. Because I have a Kenny's. Hold on. What is it? I think I have a Kenny's of the HW55. That's just my favorite of that run. Maybe I don't have another Kenny's, but I know at least I have that HW55 down there. I thought maybe I have another one. I'll have to go downstairs and look.
But yeah,
That's cool.
It was yeah.
Okay, so here's
and
real quick. I want to go ahead.
No, I was just saying, yeah, man. Like I really want to find out where that barrel went. Okay, let's talk about this.
I need final approval. Eric, can I pop this Big Deck Energy? Do you all want me to open the Big Deck Energy? And Eric, do I have permission to pop the Big Deck Energy?
I think you should just fucking do it, man.
And then I want to talk about BBC acquiring Green River.
Did they announce it finally?
Yeah, they did it like noon o'clock.
Okay. I've been holding on to this information for the last month and a half.
Yeah, same. Well, here's the thing. I hope I'm not speaking out of turn. I don't think that I am because they mentioned it on in their Patreon. But as you know, BBC acquiring them means that a lot of their assets becomes BBC's assets. And as you know, I do some stuff with the Pursuit guys, and as you know, Pursuit buys from Bardstown Bourbon Company. And as people probably know, because I've mentioned it before, Green River uses my family's corn. And so I was messaging the dudes and I was just like, dudes, all I have to say is if or when you have access to this stock that uses my family's corn, will you please let me be involved in a project so I can be involved in a project that used my family stuff? I just think it'd be really cool because I've been talking for a while. I like he was talking with Christian from Starlight. I'm like, is there a way that I can like get, how much corn do you need for me to get you some corn to mash it for a barrel? Like, can you even do that and distill it for a barrel so I can like have this thing that goes to my, or like, is there a way for me to fully like go back to the family and be like, hey, let's start a distillery? Like, I don't know what that looks like, but this is like, this is the closest I could physically get. Right. Okay. All right. Sorry, Eric. Oh no, Eric said I could do it. So we're getting some big deck energy here. Let's see if we get the pop. Drew was pretty particular in his last review video that the pop makes up a really big percentage of whether or not a bottle is going to be good or not. So let's. God, it sucked.
Oh,
I'm sorry, guys. I'm just gonna dump it out. I'm just.
So what's the story behind this name? Besides, what it kind of sounds like.
I feel like I'd have to even bring Eric in to tell you about the name, because I don't remember. We were talking about Big Deck Energy the whole time, and I don't know if we were just dancing around sexual innuendo or we were just literally talking about decks. All I know is that I was thinking about poutine the whole time.
Oh, and God, yes.
The real poutine. I'm not innuendoing.
I know what you're talking. You're fine. I got you.
And
cheese curds and gravy.
Dude, I was ready for it. And anyway, we came across this and we were just like, this is the type of stuff that you just get that back deck, that back porch, that pool sipping stuff. Now this is here we go. There was like 60 bottles. It was bottled by Angelica. Thank you, Angelica, for bottling this. 120 proof. And I think you asked me one of the days in the store how old these were, and I think I told you they were both like 6 years, going on 6.5 years for these picks, which is
significantly older than any of the other stuff I ever picked with Driftless Glen. In fact, hold on,
stupid.
I have.
Oh my gosh, this nose
this is one of my son's bottles,
awesome.
So it's not going to get opened, but
this nose is awesome. It's even better than I remember.
Here it is. Okay, so this is from. God, did they even label when this was from?
Oh my gosh.
Oh God.
Dude, I gotta bring. Are you in tomorrow?
Yeah, I'll be in the morning.
Oh, I'm not. I'm off. But I will. Oops.
Cool.
Music's playing on my earphone. I'll try and figure it out. Maybe I can run out, or maybe we can catch up with you this weekend. You've gotta. I think you. I'm not trying to like put this into your brain. I think you might lose your mind when you smell this.
Oh yeah.
Maybe you won't. Maybe you won't. Only one way to find out, I guess. Oh man.
56 months.
This I gotta find my old notes.
Okay, so here we go. So I picked this fucking probably 4 years ago.
Yep. Westport. What's up? Represent.
And this was 56 months. So a little over 4.5 years. And it is impressive as heck what they're doing. So it's exciting to see it going forward and aging it even a little bit longer.
These proofs are great too. The bourbon's 125 proof.
This one's 111.
Let's see what this 2057. Yeah, that's right. And 2669. Okay, this rye smells like Dots. You know the Dots candy?
Oh, heck yeah.
It smells like Dots and maple syrup. A little bit of lime candy. Sweet rye. Like more sweetness than rye spice. That
is
peach.
This the bottle?
Yeah.
Okay.
The peach is coming out.
I may or may not be buying one right now.
Dude, it's so good. It's so good. Peach coming out and then some oak, which is nice. And as you know, we've talked about it a little bit here before. You don't have to age a rye as long to start getting into some of those oak characteristics. And I can't. This is fresh pop, so I can only imagine how much it goes. But here's what I'll say. It's not complex in terms of like there's so many things going on at once,
Sure.
but it does keep pulling back some layers. I would say it's like it's moderately complex.
Can Steelbox ship to Kentucky?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
It's great. I don't know why anyone else can't, but they can.
When did that happen?
They've been able to for a while.
Huh. Okay.
This is great. Let's go into a taste. I initially had said that this to me was like a barrel strength, like Evan Williams peach mint julep cocktail in a glass. So let's see. Legs are pretty fire. A little fast, but going for a sip. What's up, Nicholas? Oh, dude. This is fire. I will say too, hopefully this doesn't sound like a knock. It's not meant to. If you like Starlight Rise, which might be some of the best stuff they're putting out.
I love Starlight Rise. In fact, Starlight Rise is the only thing I like from Starlight.
This has some similar flavors, and I think it's because they both use heavy malt.
Huh. Driftless is what? Wisconsin?
Yeah, and I think it's like 60-20-20 on the
and
rye.
They use Wisconsin water. They use that river water that's right up against the distillery.
This is, I will say, Eric says he's got a bottle and a half coming his way. You're right, Eric. This is that's so funny. So I will say, when we were at the pick, and Eric, maybe you'll remember this, maybe you won't. Eric was piss drunk, dude. I knew he picked this, and I was a little worried. I was like, dude, this might be too intense for people. But we went with it anyway. And I will say, bottled, fresh pop. It's, Starlight's 90-10, but I'm just meaning that 10% I'm pretty sure is malt, which is still fairly high, for most people, I would think. And I feel like you can taste the malt. Some of Starlight stuff is 80-20. I think some of the stuff that I have done picks of is 80-20. But I think they defaulted back down to 90-10. This tastes like a balanced peach mint julep, little bit of maltiness, incredibly creamy, like a maple amaretto or maple pecan finish, and then a little bit of that oak. Not crazy, but a little bit of it in there. Fire. It's better than I remembered it, but it's in line with what I remember. It's a good ride. It's a fun ride. Okay. So we hit all the topics I thought about talking about. So bada bing, bada boom.
Bada bing,
Drew,
bada boom.
He didn't have to get his bottle popped unless we just make this one Drew's. Drew, lend me your bottle. You get a good photo of that.
Oh, God.
What's up?
Oh, I found an archive Starlight pick from like 2.5 years ago.
Let's go. Post that to the channel a little bit. Kyle Bourbon, dude, this guy, man, did you catch Ben? Do you know Bourbon?
I don't. Do I need to?
I don't know if you caught him when he was coming through town. Man, this guy was in Lexington. He was in Louisville. I'm trying to give him tips of where to go to get some. I was dropping some fire tips to this dude. And he ghosted me. He ghosted me like it was Halloween.
Damn.
2 a.m. had Drew Norton thrown. Dude, I was back I was back in Louisville by then because Drew threw my ass out of the state. And then forgot. And then Tom, I didn't even tell you this. He forgot to remind me to pay the tolls that I would have no idea about because I don't live in Wisconsin. And I had to pay $53 in the end for late fees and my toll fees. So thanks a lot, Drew. I'm just, where'd he go? Oh, man. Yeah, I was listening to some sick, what podcast was I listening to? How I Built This. I was listening to How I Built This at 2 p.m. Or, sorry,
2 a.m. 2 a.m. 2
yeah,
p.m. 2 p.m.
At 2 a.m. I was listening to How I Built This, like 30 minutes outside of Louisville. So that's okay. Illinois tolls. Well, it doesn't matter. There were tolls, and I wasn't told. It doesn't matter. They're paid now. It's fine. It's fine. It's fine.
Son of a gun.
I got cheese curds for lunch that day. And then Eric, kind soul, ran into some shitty gas station and got me some, and that was it. But here we go. Ben said he had coffee at Quill's, and I decided to go to another location. You got me there. Ben did go to one of my locations. I was at a different one. No, you know what? Actually, we were at the same one. I think I was coming back from another location because I remember somebody saying like some dude was here and he like said something about you. And I was like, who would do that?
About you?
Yeah. And then I come to find out that Ben had come back and missed every tip because stupid he was working. Yeah, you stupid. Why would you do stupid stuff like that? Anyway, I almost copper Ben when he was in town. But I didn't. What the heck was I going to say? Oh, I was going to say something about coffee. I don't think my buddy Daniel is in here, but Daniel was messaging me. He was talking to me about coffee at the time. This is a quick story. But we bought these new coffees from Honduras. We bought them last year as well. But this producer group that we work with, we buy a coffee from some neighboring farmers from them. Second year buying that. But then one of the people who runs the company, their daughter, 5th generation coffee producer in Honduras, her farm, I brought 2 coffees in from. One of which, a natural process Honduras. It's in our summer blend. It's super jammy and juicy. It makes the summer blend fantastic. And then a honey processed coffee from that, which just means that some of the pulp is removed during drying. So it has some intense flavors, but also is pretty clean. Anyway, we're releasing that next week for anyone who's interested from La Unica. I was walking to Evergreen 2 days ago, and I get a message from them, and they say, hey, we're at the cafe. Are you here? I ran immediately back from Evergreen, and I said, it is so good to see you all. So Harry, he's the guy in the maroon shirt. He's one of the part owners for Finca Territo, and Leticia, she's the 5th generation producer who owns Finca La Unica. And so I immediately was like, try our San Sebastian, which is the neighboring farms to them. So we have it on single origin espresso. I brewed up some of the summer blends. I tried this. They're on their way to Chicago. So it was cool to catch up with them. Just a little coffee update. Somebody said they wanted more coffee updates. So quick coffee update was really cool. So Eric Sawyer's all about that coffee life. And Ben said he'll be back soon. So that's cool. Yeah. That's that. When's
the last time you picked a barrel at Heaven Hill?
I have never picked a barrel at Heaven Hill, and I've never been on a tour at Heaven Hill.
Wow. Okay.
Yeah. It's like one of the one places there and Wild Turkey are 2 places I've never been.
Now that Heaven Hill is all like, super touristy now, and they got these big beautiful rick houses with glass and they spent $20 million on their visitor center to make it all prestige. Their barrel picks are not as fun as they used to be.
Oh no,
they are very, very corporatized now, and I was like, what happened?
What'd you guys pick?
The girl, we did an EC BP barrel proof that was.
I'll let you back up. You're getting ready to like lead into the story. Go ahead and start with the story, and then get yourself back there.
Yeah. So we did that. We did the Did the Four Roses pick, and then the next morning we did this Elijah Craig pick. And hold on, let me get back to my notes. Which is weird because I'm starting to see a trend here with the way things go, because this pick was also kind of earthy and musty. Anyway, it used to be you could be in the old Heaven Hill Rick House.
Uh-huh.
I will even go as far as to say I'm not supposed to talk about this because when it happened, apparently it was going to get somebody in trouble. But the guy who runs the barrel project, and who was with Heaven Hill is no longer with Heaven Hill anymore. It's now being ran by somebody way more corporate. But I got to climb up into the rick house.
Let's go.
And push a barrel over, pop the bung, thieve it, and then thieve it down through the floor to the people below us to pick
the
a
old
barrel.
alley-oop technique.
The old alley-oop technique. And it was a lot of fun. We were there for probably like an hour and a half, 2 hours. Now it's you get an hour, and that's it. And you get to pick 3 barrels.
Yeah. Like you pick from 3 barrels, or you get to pick 3 barrels?
You get to pick from 3 barrels, and that's it.
Got it. Yeah.
And if you don't like it, too bad, so sad, move on.
Yikes.
But, I mean, that's where this is at now. You know, it went from doing barrel picks was like this prestige, fun thing that you got to do and be a part of. And if you got asked to do a barrel pick, you were a freaking god. And now it's just like it's super. And this is just across the board. This isn't just for Heaven Hill.
Right.
It's kind of like this most places now. They have a set allotment of barrels that you get to pick through, and that's it. Not let's go find something. Let's drink through barrels until we can find something that you like and that you're in love with. But yeah, Sylvia, she's the one who runs the barrel project now. She's super cool. I started talking to her. I was like, "Hey, when did you all switch to just doing 3 barrels?" And she's like, "It's always been this way." And I was like, not always been this way. So I had to go through my phone and find the videos and the pictures and be like, "Look, this legitimately happened."
How many Elijah Craig barrel proof picks have you been able to try?
I'd say about a dozen.
What are your thoughts on them?
I have not been super impressed.
Okay.
I think they're
This
great.
is a topic that Drew and I talked about a couple months ago, so I just wanted to get your feedback on it.
Yeah, I think they're great, and it's been very exciting going from, you know, we're never going to offer this. The last time I did, where is it? The last time I did an Elijah Craig single barrel pick, hold on, let me see if I can find it. It's in here somewhere. Here it is. It was, geez Louise. 2019, the end of October 2019 was the last time I picked an Elijah Craig barrel. So before the world decided to fall apart, and I hadn't picked one since. And when we picked this, they were like, "There's no way, no how that barrel proof is ever going to be a thing. Not going to happen. Not going to do it." Which was fine. Like, I think Elijah Craig 94 proof single barrel picks are phenomenal. Like, it's my thing. It's
Great deal.
I have tons of them down here. I've drank tons of them. In fact, the tiki torches that I have in front of my house are all Elijah Craig barrels or bottles, like, because I think they're fantastic. And so, not getting it at barrel proof, that's fine. Like, I'll stick with the 94 proof. But now that this is a thing, they're like, "It's always been this way, yada, yada, yada." It's like, no. But yeah, I don't know, man. Like, I'm kind of on the fence. Like, I don't want to compare it to Old Forester barrel proof because I don't like Old Forester barrel proof. Don't get me wrong. Old Forester, great brand.
Everyone on the channel knows my opinions on it. They know I'm not a big fan of Old Forester.
I love their 100 proof Old Forester single barrel picks. I think that's right at the sweet spot for the age and what you're getting. I think it's perfect. Doing barrel proof, there's the saying I like to say, you don't have to do barrel proof just to do barrel proof. And I feel like that's what some of these places are doing. They're just doing barrel proof to do barrel proof. And I don't think that Elijah Craig needs to do barrel proof just to do barrel proof. It's great. It's a fun experience, but
this is probably bad for me to say on air because Tom might message me afterwards, tell me to go get one. But our Target in town just put out an 11-year 122 proof Elijah Craig barrel proof pick.
What Target is this?
Out in I want to say Middletown.
Okay.
I've not gotten there to get one, but I saw it and I want to go get it because I've heard it's gas. And so Drew and I were talking about this because when we first brought up the topic, I thought it was going to be terrible for the brand because I already was kind of hit or miss sometimes with the Elijah Craig barrel proof. It was one of the products in combination with Ezra 7, which I know wasn't technically them, and then with on top of Henry McKenna at the time, it's the kind of stuff that made me not want to drink Heaven Hill.
Sure.
And I've come back into it, and now again the EC Picks 94 proof have become one of my favorite drinkers. Drew, on the other hand, was like, no, it's going to be a great thing. It's going to be really fun. And then we each had a flight of picks, and I was actually more impressed with what I got a chance to try than I think Drew was. I think he was a little bit more disappointed, but for me, it was kind of one of those things where I'm like, if it's 9, 10, 11 years old, pretty decent proof and tastes solid, and it was like $75, $80. This is more in line than a Nulu. This is more in line than, whatever else you're getting in that price range. And so I've actually been a fan. I kind of overbought them for a bit, and I've had to hold off, but I do have a handful of them, and I love drinking them. And I've had a lot of variety, which I've been happy with. I picked up a newer one recently from, where the heck did it go? Maybe I took it downstairs. One of the Bourbon Pursuit ones that came in was like real fruity, like a Buffalo Trace. And then the other one was like real big and bold, like a Beam product. So they're pretty interesting, pretty different from one another. And I think that's what I kind of like. It lets me splash around. But when I get some of them that are just easy drinking and has a ton of oak, that's my vibe. So that's what I hope that Target one gets. So I'm going to try and get out there and see if I can grab one.
I think the reason why I'm kind of like on the fence about this whole Elijah Craig barrel proof thing is because these have now disappeared.
Yeah,
nobody wants to do a 94 Elijah Craig proof pick because you can get it at barrel proof. Like, why do I want this when I can get barrel proof? Well, I'll tell you why. Because the amount of like just weird and crazy like flavors like across the board that you can get from these things, it's an array of just really cool things. Stuff that I think is worth chasing and worth drinking, and the price, right? The last Elijah Craig 94 proof pick I picked up was from Justin's House of Bourbon, and it was a 13-year-old, and it was ridiculously good. Like, that thing was out of this world, and I want to see more stuff like that. But nobody wants to do that.
If anyone remembers, was that my number one? I think that was my number one non-alc store pick. I think I did a list of top 10 picks or group releases. That was my number one fire bottle.
Rightfully so. I mean, that thing was incredible. Like, that was
fire.
Dude, there's some emotional ties to that thing for me too. That's when I found out that one of my really good friends had just passed away.
Yep, I remember that.
And I was devastated. And then at the same time, I just got a really cool job where I'm at right now. So it was a really weird transitional period for me. So, I mean, yeah, it was really good. But then it was also really cool because, yeah. Let's see where it's in here somewhere.
Yep.
I'm right there with you. That thing was ridiculous.
My buddy Michael, sometimes he's in the chat, but he never stays for long if he is. He had his bottle in a pod, that with like some other stuff and some tools that got raided, and it was one of the bottles that got stolen. So I gave my bottle to him because he really liked that one. So so he's got that. Hopefully he's enjoying it.
But yeah, those are, and that's a bummer because those aren't going to be done anymore. Like I was talking to Sylvia when we did our pick, and I said, can we still get this a 94 proof? And she's like, why would you want to? And I'm like, why wouldn't you?
Because they're so rich for the proof. And
the
heck,
age,
cheaper.
The ages kind of dropped too.
But I could also see why they wouldn't want to do it because they can make more money with the barrel proof.
Of course they can.
Of course. Well, here's a question I didn't think about it, and maybe I'm putting you on the spot. It's going to be too bad. What have been some of your favorite? We're almost to the middle of the year. What have been some of your favorite things so far? I've not done a middle of the year wrap up. It's been a couple months. I feel like since I've even updated my list. Whether that's because I've been busy and forgotten, or I just haven't had anything that like needs to go on the list. What are some of your favorite things that you've had so far this year?
I know this isn't really from this year, but I'm still drinking on these because I bunkered. I guess that's what you're supposed to call it. Bunkered a bunch of these. The Remus 5. I'm still drinking this.
Nation's big fans of the.
I think it's the best thing that MGP's ever put out under their. In fact, let's drink a little bit of that while we're talking about it. So I really liked that. Still drinking that. There was a single barrel pick out of crap. Where is this from? I don't remember where this is from. A liquor store. The liquor store is called Bourbon in the Berkshires. This is the first Elijah Craig single barrel proof pick I've ever liked. This is an 11-year-old, 106.5 proof. They have these really cool like comic book stickers that they do on their bottles. I would put this. That's one of the top bottles that I've had so far this year. The Heaven Hill 17 blew my mind. I have not been able to stop thinking about it since I first initially tried it. I'm a huge fan of that. I think the Architect 1 and 2, maybe 1 a little bit more than 2 from Penelope. I thought was really damn good. I liked that a whole lot. I think that's it so far. There hasn't been a whole lot. I'll be honest. There hasn't been a whole lot of things this year that have kind of really blown my mind. Like last year,
yep.
I feel like there was a whole lot more whiskey last year that really blew my mind.
I've not updated my list since.
Oh, you know what?
April
I'll add
7th.
one more. Peerless just dropped a rye.
Oh, I saw you post a picture of this.
Oh my god, dude, this thing was stupid good. Like it was all those things that I love in whiskey in general, and then having these really cool flavors in rye too. It was like earthy and musty and woody and spicy and sweet. Super cool for a 4-year rye from Peerless. That impressed me a whole lot. But outside that, I said that's like maybe 3 or 4 bottles.
Yeah.
Whereas like last year, I could have given you a whole list of stuff that I was crazy about.
What were your thoughts on the Heaven Hill barrel proof?
The 17?
Yeah.
Oh my god, dude. That thing is I'm so in love with that. It's for being as old as it is, so it's a blend of like 17 to 20-year-old bourbon. For being as old as it is, Heaven Hill kind of has this like I've noticed it when their older whiskey gets proofed down. And so Heaven Hill has this thing of like when whiskey kind of gets over like I don't know, let's say like 14-ish years old, it gets really like oaky and ashy and just almost undrinkable. A lot of the Elijah Craig 18s I've had, I just have not been a fan of because they're just oak forward and ash and just unpleasant. But there's something about this Heaven Hill, and I think it's probably because it's cask strength that just really does it for me. It's oak forward, don't get me wrong, but it's got really good spice. There's really good sweet behind it. There's a nice medicinal note. it checks a lot of the boxes of things that I kind of am after right now. I'm very hurt that I don't have a bottle of it yet. I'm close, hopefully. As far as trades go, maybe I can get there. But I'm such a huge fan of it, man. I would put it in the running for bottle of the year. It really did that for me. I liked it so much.
I mean, at this point in the year, we haven't even really seen anything else.
No. I think this is kind of the first thing so far where we're like,
dude, Steve Winwood dropping the facts. That Heaven Hill 17 crushes.
100%,
I will say,
dude.
I will say, I tried the old Fit 17, and the nose was really good.
Oh, great nose.
But then the palate was just so boring to me. It was so dull.
I think that kind of pays testament to Heaven Hill going to the extra age and stuff getting proofed down. There's just this weird, like, oaky, ashy, musty note that just doesn't sit well, and it doesn't really blend out for me. It's kind of all I can ever pick up on. Haven't been a fan. Have not been a fan.
Yeah. I just looked at my spreadsheet that does not include Rose's picks that I have upstairs. So I need to update that, but I will say I have 4.
Where are you at? Yeah, where are you at as far as bottles so far of the year?
So I don't know if I want to spoil it for Nation for my, like, if I did a video. So right now I did update the list. Right now I have 3 categories. I have craft whiskey.
Cool.
I have picks.
Okay.
And then I feel like I did this last year, or maybe one was available, and I probably won't do that again this year. But I do have craft whiskey. I have picks, and then I have just general releases, like more mainstream or allocated releases. And just because that doesn't mean that, like, if there is a pick and it's a crafted, just it'll go somewhere, So as of right now, and I would have to compare the two, which I have not yet because I haven't opened mine. I still have the Amon's Driftless Glen pick on here because Amon's did a Driftless Glen pick that that our boy hooked us up with, and that's the one thing that made me be like, we got to do a Driftless pick. Like, this is insane for $45. Like, this is insane. $42 maybe. I don't even remember what it was. I have the Penelope 13-year light whiskey on here as well. Now, it's a little particular.
I only got to try one iteration of that, and it was apparently the lowest proof that they did. And I wasn't crazy about it.
I liked it way better at bottle open than I did not. And I do also believe that the Bull Runs are more affordable, but Penelope kind of threads the line of a lot of those products.
I would take this over any other light whiskey that I've had.
Yeah.
In a minute. And it was just kind of why I passed on some of that. Love what Penelope's doing. The light whiskey was super cool, but I have not had anything in that light whiskey category that has wowed me quite as much as Obtainium has. Obtainium is
on opening my Penelope, it just had, and people remember from our video, it had this like key lime pie like thing to it that I just thought was really good, where all the Obtainiums just taste like high proof birthday cake. And not that I don't like that. I do. I just kind of like that little softness that the Penelope had, and the price wasn't too crazy. And then I will say, as of right now, probably in the running for my favorite pick of the year would be Kroger's 11-year Elijah Craig barrel proof.
We talked about this,
dude. It is fire good, and
we talked about
one because we were driving back from Bardstown when that happened, and we were able to pick them up. And I haven't even popped mine yet because Drew popped his, and I was like, this barrel is so fire. It's so oaky and sweet and delicious. And then I will also, so I won't spoil everything, but I'll also say on top of my mainstay, so like the more allocated stuff, I think it was at your bar, I retried, or maybe my buddy gave me a sample. One of the two. No, it was at the bar. I tried the New Riff malted rye again, but it was the 2022 bottling.
Oh shit! Actually, I'm sorry. Go ahead. That just sparked something.
So me and Tom love the malted rye, and they obviously didn't do any. They didn't be like, it's back again or anything like that. but the bottling is 2022. So I'm like, oh, is this a new batch? I don't know. But I remember drinking and be like, did I forget how good the malted rye was, or is this batch just better? But if anyone is not buying a new Riff malted rye when they see it and it has a laser code of the 2022, you are just straight stupid because it is so good. Now, I will say, I think you and I disagree on this and we could talk about it. I did get a chance to try a sample of the sherry finished, and I personally hated it.
Bro.
So
I am bananas about. I got to try that at a bottle share. Had no idea what I was trying. I thought I was just drinking the regular malted rye because I really like the malted rye as well. And then just got punched in the face with sherry, and I was like, what the heck is this? And they're like, oh, it's the sherry. And I was like, what about the sherry? Because I had never heard about it. I never got the email. I never saw anybody talking about it. I didn't see bottles pop up anywhere. Yeah, it was.
I just thought
I
it was
so much.
I was just really disappointed with it. I thought it was so, that sherry was so dry to me, and I don't even remember if I liked the nose. Something about it, because I debated doing a video on it, and I'm like, I can't. The impression that I got off my first sample was not positive. I'm happy to try it again, but I was incredibly discouraged. I just think I thought for how much I like the base product, I would have liked it so much more than I did. And like I said, I thought about trying again. Hold on real quick. I'm going to interject with one video. I don't know how many, again, I'm kind of, since Drew's not on the channel, I can crossbreed this into whatever I want to. I talked coffee a little bit. But one of the things I will say randomly happened while we were in Nashville, me and my wife, the first day before the event, the SOX charity event, we just spent the whole day in Nashville. We went to dinner, had a very nice dinner together. And then we went to this tiki bar. We'll get back on topic in a second. Went to this tiki bar, and we're like, dude, everything's lining up perfectly with time. What else are we going to do? We're like, well, let's go see if Doctor Strange is in the theater. And it was, but they're all the showings were like at like 10 o'clock. And so we're like, well, we're not gonna start a movie at 10 o'clock. What else? So we're like, let's look up concerts. And we found out that Bon Iver, if anyone's familiar with Bon Iver, was playing a show at the amphitheater outside venue downtown Nashville. And so we immediately bought tickets on StubHub or whatever and drove to the venue. So quick video insane,
dude.
sound.
How rad is that? You just randomly show up. Hey, Bonifair's playing. Let's go. That's awesome.
Outside venue. So here's, and I'll get sentimental again too. When Chris and I first started dating, shows are what we did. 2006, sure. Lollapalooza. This is really early this is the first 2 months of our relationship. Before we were even officially dating, we took a trip up for Lollapalooza. Seeing bands was a big part. I played in music for a couple years too, for a lot of years actually, but was a big part of what we did. And ever since having kids, you just don't have a chance to do that as much anymore. And so to do something that has a city skyline behind you, like it does at that festival, was just a really special moment. I thought just being able to catch that again, and then catching a band that I've listened to for, 20 years or something he's been playing. I talked to like some of my friends I work with now, and they're like, I don't know who you're talking about. Cause it's like, I was like, okay, I guess I'm just old. And then a thing with me, I'm super big on tour runs. And I don't get a chance to talk about all that much, but I know you're into music, so like maybe you understand it too. But like, to me, I'm like, man, if you don't catch a specific run a band does, sometimes you miss out on a moment. It doesn't really matter the venue necessarily. It's just like if they put out an album, it's all going to be that album. And so I remember a long, long time ago, Bogart, Cincinnati, Get Up Kids. I was a big fan of the band. It was when they just put out On a Wire. And On a Wire for Get Up Kids was a very different record from like the pop punk stuff they did before. And I didn't know how much I appreciated being able to catch that show because they still played a lot of their old songs. But that was the beginning of a different like era for them. And I think all the shows after that probably sucked ass. But that tour was tight because you got to catch it right at a really cool pivotal moment. And then again, if you loved a band's early music and they put out a new album, you've then missed the tour or tours that you could have caught them at their pivotal. Now, I have never seen Bon Iver play. But again, in the very beginning, Justin Vernon played completely solo. I'm sure it was a particular sound. When they started coming out with, some of their album, I know they got like a Grammy for one of the albums, or maybe it was Volcano Choir did, another band he played in. But I know that there's been some tours where you'd probably catch some really great shows. He last put his album like 2 years ago, and I'm pretty sure he was like, I'm done. Like that's the last like album I'm going to put out. And so I just never even thought to think about him touring again. He had a girl playing with him, which and all the things I've looked up, I don't think she's ever played before. She goes by the name of Flock of Dimes. And the addition of her, the setup that they have for their stage presence is just pretty cool. It's not anything crazy. The production of the sound, like you could even hear in that video, the bass was impeccable. And being able to catch them on this particular tour was like something I never knew I wanted. But he obviously has like 2 years plus on the entire discography that he's had. And he was pissed too, because that was as soon as, and we won't get political on here, but that was as soon as the stuff came out about Roe versus Wade. And he only talked like 3 times during the whole set. And he was just like, fuck today. This is an awful day. And they like go back to playing. And like watching the videos too, that's also crazy in and of itself. Cause you're like, dude, sometimes like sometimes people will not play a show because of like a death in the family or a friend or like something going on. But sometimes the show goes on and I'm just like, dude, this guy is pissed and they believe in a whole lot of stuff and empowerment of people and like a lot of causes and everything. And he just, they put on a heck of a show for him and maybe the other band members to be in such a bad mood. So anyway, it was really cool to catch that. I did not know that was something I wanted to see. And I'm really glad we got a chance to catch that show.
I can kind of play testament to that too, as far as like going to a show. So Rebecca and I.
Oh, look at our buddy here.
It's too beautiful.
Zach.
What up, man? Rebecca and I grew up in the scene. We grew up, going to shows. I mean, she could name drop and show you pictures about bands and people you knew before you knew who were. They all used to stay with her at her house. Like crazy stories, like crazy stories. So we grew up in the same kind of scene, but on different coasts. Like I'm like West Coast hardcore and she's like East Coast hardcore. But that being said, shows have kind of always been the structure of who we were as people. But like you said, starting a family, having kids, don't really get to go do that anymore. Dashboard Confessional was in town. Rebecca loves Dashboard. It's probably one of her favorite bands. I'm a fan, probably not as big as a fan as she is, but huge Dashboard fans, regardless. So I said, you know what? I'm going to surprise her. We're going to get VIP, and we're going to go do Dashboard the right way, the grown-up way. We were at the Palace. We think we were like third from the front row, and Chris played all the hits. He played one from their brand new album that had just come out like 2 weeks prior, which was awesome. It was like he knew his crowd, dude. He knew the people that were there, and he didn't just bombard us with all his new music. He was like, we're going to play all the old jams. And it was just this awesome moment that Rebecca and I got to have, like listening to this music that we both like separately grew up listening to. And it was just an awesome moment, dude. Like, didn't know that was the show that I needed until I was there with her, experiencing that and just singing on the top of our lungs, no kids, no responsibilities. It was a beautiful moment. So yeah. I back that. And I hope that you and I both get to have more moments like that, because they are beautiful moments. They are beautiful moments.
My buddy Nash, he used to play in some band. I forget what it was, like Slingshot 57 or something like that. Some old like Christian rock band or something like that. But he was doing sound. He was touring around doing sound for some folk trio. I don't remember their name off the top of my head. And he was passing through Cincinnati, and he's like, "Hey, dude, come out. I'm like running sound for this band." Or whatever. I was like, "Okay." And he was doing sound for this band. Maybe it might have been Lone Bellow, but they were also playing. It might not have been though. They were also playing show though with whatever Chris Caraba's folk project was, something Forks, or I don't know what it was called. and he was like, yeah, dude, this is like, Chris says like, this is the project he like actually likes doing. And now he'll just do tours of Dashboard Confessional stuff because he knows it'll sell out to like pay for like doing this other stuff that he likes to do. But I remember being back, I was like upstairs talking to Nash, and it was like the backstage room, and Chris Crowd is very short, but he was like playing, they were like, him and the girl from Blown Bell were like singing some sort of song or whatever. And then people started talking about effects pedals with Chris. And I guess I'm just an a-hole and I did not think about it, but I also love effects pedals. So he was like saying something, and I remember being like, oh, actually blank, 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 but blank, but blank, and like saying something. And then like I went on, I didn't think anything about it. And then my buddy Nash was like, dude, you just cut Chris Carrabba off and told him he was wrong about some effects pedal. And I was like, I mean, he was though. I'm like, he was wrong. I was just like saying. He's like, dude, that's insane. So, whatever. So that's my Chris Carrabba.
Oh, you're an animal, dude. You're a freaking animal. I love it. Love it.
That said, I'd love to see Dashboard Confessional play. He'd probably be like, hey, you're not welcome here. You're just going to critique my set. Get out of here, kid.
No, it was a super cool moment. We have one more big show thing we're doing. It's going to be in September, and it's Furnace Fest. Furnace Fest is like an iconic hardcore fest from like 20 years ago that happened at the old Sloss Furnace in Alabama. And we went last year, and it was really cool, and we had a blast, and they decided to do it again this year. And once again, I decided we're doing this the grown-up way. We're going VIP. We're going backstage. And I'm probably coming out of Mosh retirement because this is going to be 3 days of just beat down, cool hardcore that her and I both grew up on.
Oh, yeah.
And it's going to be a blast. Looking forward to it. So if I come back with a cracked rib or broken leg, I had a good time.
Oh, that's so funny.
At the very least, I'll have some cracked ribs.
Yeah, I'm trying to get some people tell me about what they're into. What's this guy saying? Chattanooga whiskey stacks up against Stag. Cade, I cannot believe you're not at Jack Daniels right now. Whatever.
Chattanooga whiskey. Wait, what?
Tom, big Pixies fan.
Oh man, Surfer-Rosa from the Pixies is probably one of my Rancid and Transplants. Okay, we're getting into my world.
Dude, we got some vibes. We got some vibes going on in this chat.
But Surfer-Rosa from Pixies is probably my favorite Pixies album. That thing is from the beginning to the end. I could listen to that album on repeat. That is awesome.
Dude, you have like 400 Violent Gentlemen like shirt. And what is that hockey or is that a band? Is it a hockey band?
It's hockey.
Are you wearing one right now? Okay.
I am.
Tim's really into hockey.
Yep.
So
I'd say like 95% of my wardrobe is Violent Gentleman shirts. Transplants and Rancid. Oh man. Yeah, there's some Cro-Mags. Man, there's some Surfer-Rosa. Yes.
Oh my gosh, this guy's bringing out
No FX. Dude, Steve, you are my people. We need to hang out, dude. Let's go.
This dude likes Fat Mike so much.
Fat Mike's not Fat Mike anymore, though.
No, he's not. Oh, Cade. Oh, Cade, you're hilarious, dude.
Well, now chime in your favorite right now. I'm like,
oh my gosh, that's so funny. Oh golly, it's been so long since I've just sat down and listened to music. I don't even remember who I like to listen to anymore. I mean, I listen to tons of music. I just don't know that I have a favorite anymore. I just pull up old stuff.
I'm hooked on this. I'm hooked on this album right now from 2009.
There you go,
Alexandra. I think that's a great album, and I'm also hooked on this is.
I mean, so you probably listened to Alexis on Fire. Did you see they put out a new album? And it's pretty tight. Yeah.
R.I.P. Mac Miller.
Yep.
Yeah,
R.I.P. Yeah, Tom's a big fan of Dead Milkman.
Yeah,
I was listening to Dead Milkman the other day, dude.
Music is Yeah. I don't get to listen to it as much as I used to because I don't really have to commute for work anymore. My commute would be if I walk to work instead of drive to work now. So I don't get to
I was
listen to
listening
music.
to
There you go.
I was listening to Big Lizard in my backyard the other day because my friend's got a Big Lizard in my backyard shirt. So we were listening to Dead Milkman while we were cupping coffee the other day.
Oh, no, there's this one too, Landmarks. I'm really into this one right now too.
Yeah. Every year for like the last 8 years, I either made top lists. Lately with Spotify, I just start dropping all the albums that I enjoy through the year, and it makes it easier for me to go back and figure out the kind of stuff that I like. And it also makes for a really good shuffle playlist every year.
I feel like I need to get on the Spotify train and actually start doing building some stuff.
Yeah, I just don't do the Apple thing, so it's just kind of my vibe. And,
I do, and that's I've never messed with anything else. Oh, you know what? That just reminded me. Oh God, who's the band? Oh God.
Eric Sawyer's listening to 30 by Adele, sipping rosé, and I'm starting to question why we even give him a wrench. I might have to revoke his wrenchability. Maybe did I even give him a wrench? Maybe he's not even a wrench. I don't even know who's a wrench anymore. Oh, I guess he could be. I don't know what I can see from StreamYard. So, oh, you're so funny, Eric. Eric, I do need to get up to Milwaukee again soon because I want to go visit that coffee shop and chat with them. You know, I've been chat. You know, they email every so often. We talk about coffees and stuff like that, coffee pars and whatnot. And I need to get up there and see what they're doing. I need to visit.
Man, I cannot think of the freaking band right now, but they released version of their album, and it was an A side and a B side, and you could listen to them separately.
Mm-hmm.
And they're two different experiences. The same song's done two different ways.
It's not Copeland, is it?
It is Copeland. Thank you. Jeez Louise.
Yeah,
sometimes
we have two speakers mounted in the roastery, and sometimes I'll get two different Spotifys and try and queue up one speaker and the other speaker at the same time.
Dude,
and
that is
fire.
Such a cool freaking experience listening to them at the same time. I like both of them for what they are separately, but listening to them together, oh man. That is an experience right there.
Yeah, the Flaming Lips used to have an old I'd never listened to it, but they had a long time ago put out 4 cassettes that were split like that. That if you play them in sync, they would stack different layers like that. Yeah, the Ixora.
Yep, Ixora Twin and Ixora. Yep.
Yeah, they're pretty fire on its own. I mean, I'm personally a big fan of the Twin album, but yeah, it's just a cool layer. When you get them stacked up.
So here's the thing: is that I didn't know that had been a thing until like years later. I was hanging out with one of my friends. I went back to visit. It after I had moved here. So this was like, I think it was like after the first year that I'd moved here. So that would be like end of 2017, maybe mid of 2018 when I went back and visited. And we were just talking about Copeland and talking about this album, and he played the Twin album that I had not heard. I'd only heard the original because it was almost a year between when they came out. I was like, why is everything different that we're listening to right now? Like, it was one of those like Mandela moments almost. I was like, this is not how I remember it. And he's like, what are you talking about? Because he had only known the Twin version of the album. And I was like, hold on. And then that's when we found out that you could play them together. And that was a magical moment.
Michael Evans throwing out Smashing Pumpkins. I'm personally not an enormous Pumpkins fan, but I love Billy Corgan's fuzz tones. So like I have, one of my favorite, at least when I was into pedals a lot, Screddy pedals. He did a lot of stuff that were based off of Dave Gilmour fuzz tones and stuff based off of Billy Corgan fuzz tones, and both of which are sounds that I super appreciate. And that's part of the reason why I like, what's that other band? It's not Smashing Pumpkins, but it's Silver Sun Pickups. I I was a fan of Silver Sun pickups because Eric Sawyer. But yeah, you aren't wrong, dude. The pumpkin spice latte is definitely better than Smashing Pumpkins. I am a big Silver Sun pickups fan, and that dude uses fuzz tone similarly to Billy Corgan too. I mean, I appreciate them as musicians. They've obviously been around since the late 80s, but it's not exactly my vibe. So Tom's asking you about Pavement. Listen to Pavement much?
Is it bad that I don't have anything to say about it?
It's okay. You're all good.
I feel like Tom and I were vibing, and now he's like, "Fuck this guy."
No, he's okay. You served him one of his favorite whiskeys, so I think he'll forgive you.
Seen his picture. I know he is. I recognize him. Like, I'm glad I got to serve him a cool whiskey in my bar. I hope you come back.
He comes to Louisville, and we do two things. We go to Crackle Barrel because he's old as fuck, and we have to get him fed, and then we go to.
Gotta get that early bird special at Cracker Barrel.
No, we only really go to Cracker Barrel because we stayed in a hotel nearby.
Dude, all of my wife's family loves Cracker Barrel, and
Tom, I hurt his feelings.
Tom,
or you did. Someone hurt Tom's feelings. I don't know who it was.
I'm not about the Cracker Barrel life. It's not for me. I like good food.
like Jerry Boys, J Boys.
J Boys.
I don't even think J Boys is open anymore, man.
Dude, who's this?
He did
I do not go to Cracker Barrel. So who's this Steve character? I feel like I need to hang out with this guy because I think we have the same musical tastes.
Which guy?
Steve?
Dude, to be honest, I might be a huge a-hole. Steve Winwood, I don't know that we've chatted in the chat before.
Steve Winwood, I'm about everything that he's said so far during this chat. I'm about.
Steve's the man. I don't know that I had seen or interacted with Steve very much in the chats before. So welcome to Steve if you are new, but come back all the time.
Please.
Apparently he was in Cream. So thanks, Tom.
Steve's the only one who's Tom's the only one who's old enough to actually be able to know for sure.
Yep. Oh man.
Oh dude, I'm okay. I'll talk about this because I actually don't know if I'm going to be able to work it out and make it happen. I met a couple people this last weekend that might be able to push it forward. But there is going forward for me as far as like the background that I grew up in and where life has taken me to where I am now. There's this really cool correlation with hardcore music and whiskey. Mm-hmm. So I'm working on a podcast of getting people that are either in the music industry or that are in bands or in hardcore bands or grew up going to shows and now that are really into bourbon to sit down and talk about it. And I think I might be on the cusp of actually making it able to happen. But I'm only going to do it if I can get enough content to do for like 6 months and then build off of that. But it's really fun. Episodes. Right. And it's really, I will say it's really fun to actually be able to sit down and do this and kind of like, get a little lubrication to where we're comfortable and then talk about music. That's one of my favorite things to do. Music was my life source. I used to run a music venue back in like 2010 to 2012. I used to run a music venue. Saw a lot of really cool shows. Met a lot of really cool people and found out that a lot of like high-end or I don't know high-end, but like high priority musicians are assholes. And their tour riders and the things that they request to play at your venue are astronomical. Like there was one band that came through and their tour rider was 6 30-packs and 3 bottles of Jack. There was none in the rider. It was, I want M&Ms, but it better be all green M&Ms. So I think you either had to like special order or go through.
They're not even sexy anymore. Who wants the green M&Ms?
Right. But it had to be green M&Ms. It's just like crazy stuff. And it was like, people like make. I mean, obviously, if it's in your tour rider, it's they got it fulfilled other places. But yeah, man, I love talking music, and I love being able to just sit down and drink really cool whiskey and talk about music. So this has been fun for me, even though the music kind of ended up at the end of it. But still, regardless, I'm about it.
That's okay. We're just
I mean,
wandering along.
I think it's safe to say that it's kind of like the core of who you are too, though. Like this show starting out is you know, in your younger years, talking about your influences of music.
Yeah.
Right. Sure. I mean, I think it's safe to say that music is a big role in your life too, whether you get to enjoy it on a regular basis or not.
Yeah, and again, I listen to it all the time and all types of stuff too. So, you know, we walking through. We parked on the opposite side of Broadway from the venue, so we had to walk through Broadway on a Friday night down in Nashville to get that venue. And you know, I became a country fan that night. So,
speaking of Dashboard earlier, I am hung up on their new album right now.
Dude, when did that come out?
Within the last year.
Or I don't recognize.
It's a really cool vinyl. I think they called this Wine. It's his newest album.
It's a this year album. I've not even listened to this. This is tomorrow.
Oh, bro.
You said within the year. When did this come out? This is a 2022 album. It's got to go on my.
It came out this year, dude.
It's going on my add to
playlist
2022. Sick. That's fire. I can't wait to listen to it. Well, because his last album was a best of, and then Dusk and Summer was, you know, there's a bunch of re-records and stuff like that. So, there's a bunch of re-records to a bunch of his stuff. It's been a little bit. Oh, what the heck? Did he re-print out a bunch of these albums? I can't keep track of anything. It's still been a while. Maybe not that far of a while, but it's been a while.
But yeah, I was super thrilled and impressed with that album. It came out great.
Oh my gosh.
Music brings people together. Yes, it does, and so does whiskey. That's why they're Get it right, Tom. That's why they're so I think great and interchangeable.
Absolutely. Oh my gosh. Yeah, that's the one biggest positive about Drew not being on the show anymore is I don't have to fucking hear about golf anymore. So that's good. Oh gosh. You probably got to head out. Yeah.
I mean, I don't have to. I'm just saying for time's sake and reposting wise, we're hitting that 2-hour mark. I don't know if you want to keep going or, you know.
I don't care. Me and Drew usually would try and get to 2. When I started doing things solo, I thought maybe I'd cap it at an hour, but then we got into some really good content in that last hour. So, you know, and I've got this encouragement I thought it was to do cocaine and wear rhinestones. So I'm glad I read this the second time. Because that's I was like, all right, well, Kyle, my buddy Kyle's saying I should do cocaine and wear, and I'm like, maybe, and that's not it. That's not always asking. So we already showed that one. And we concur. You're right, Tom. You're right. Here you go, Chris Stapleton and Adele. Maybe we'll do a collab album for you, Eric. It'd be the best album of your decade. So we'll do whatever, Nation. You know, you wanna close it up. You know, 11 o'clock on a Thursday, or you want to just keep going for a while? I got nothing else. I mean, I have a whole box over here of stuff, but I'm probably not.
I'm gonna hear you keep talking. I've got to use the little boys' room. I'll be.
Yep. Oh my gosh, typical Drew fashion too. Look at this guy. How come no one else can get a pee bucket like me and just make it through the whole time? Yeah. You think I'm kidding? Come on now. Tasty. Oh my gosh. Well, Steve, appreciate you showing up. I love Shoney's so much. The French toast sticks are really what it's all about. I mean, not the cold eggs, but the French toast sticks are really what do it over. So, Tom, here's another one. You gotta vet these out with me first before I reshare them. Oh gosh, it's another one. I wasn't supposed to post that, Tom. I wasn't supposed to post that. Oh.
I'm sorry that I drink a lot of liquids and I had to use the restroom.
No, Drew would always.
Did you say something about Shoney's?
Yeah, they're talking about Shoney's in the chat. Steve's bouncing because he's going to Shoney's in the morning.
Good night, Steve. You know what? It's so interesting coming from one side of the U.S. to, we're in an East time zone, so I'll call it another side of the U.S. But all the things that I never knew about people being into and talking about, I'm like, why would you want to do that with your life?
Like cocaine and rhinestones?
Like cocaine and rhinestones, but oh man, like Cracker Barrel, that's for one. What's the chicken place that everyone's obsessed with in my family? Zaxby's.
Zaxby's.
Zax
sauce though, dude.
Oh god, dude. There was a good like 5-minute conversation during our family vacation about Zaxby's sauce, and I was like, what is wrong with you people? What's another big one? Oh gosh.
Is Cade still in the chat? Because I've been sent a screenshot that says 30 people in line an hour ago, and the lady at the bottle shop said there will be 100 to 200 bottles.
Wow.
So
Tom,
if at 11
I'm from
o'clock,
Southern California.
I don't think you have to overnight, but you should get there early. If Cade's still on, I'm just saying, like, I would try and shoot for like 5, Cade. I don't know. I don't know if people are going to pour in, and maybe people aren't maybe they're not like in Kentucky, but I don't think at 11 o'clock my time, you have to rush. There is an hour change. So it's technically 10 o'clock, wherever that is in Tennessee. I don't know. 5 o'clock, dude. That's what I'm saying. All right. From SoCal. Because Tom asked where he was from. Oh, Steve's going to start a fight before he goes to bed with us?
Popeye's chicken sandwich is the best out there.
Could never tried it, dude.
Don't know.
That's what we'll do for next live, Tim. The next live, we'll go get some Popeye's chicken sandwiches and we'll open the segment with.
Are you going to make me a part of the show now? Because I'm so freaking. I am so. We already talked about this.
What do you think,
Nation?
About
this. We were talking about this when you were at the bar.
What do you guys think, Nation? I mean, Tim's just horned himself out of everywhere because he's already with Jack. Do you want him to keep showing up? I'll leave it up to you.
Hanging out, man. I like people. I like conversation. I like whiskey.
This is the real comment. Cade, get your ass in the car and get to Jack Daniels. I don't know what you were doing.
If
you're not in your car for a $3.75 of Jack Daniels, what are you doing? The things that we say in 2022.
There was a handful of guys at the bar today, and they were talking about this release, and they're like, "Should I go?" And I'm like, "Look, man, if you go, you can guarantee that you're gonna get something. Okay, it's gonna happen." Yeah. But for me, I like Jack Daniels. Okay, I got some Jack Daniels in my bar. I'm a huge fan of the single barrel rye release they did that was cask strength. I think that's the best thing that's ever come out of as far as special releases. But the Coy Hill didn't really wow me. Like I've had a handful of them now, and I'm not like.
I will say, whatever bottle, the proof that you all have gotten in has not been my favorite. That is.
So I just got a new one today. I'll be putting it on the bar.
Here's what I'm gonna drink. This is for Cade. I'm gonna cheers to Cade. All right. If you got it accessible and you're still in the chat, will you just pour out a little Jack for Cade and say, Cade, get your butt in the car and get to Jack Daniels.
This is for you, man. Go to Jack.
This is for you, Cade. Cheers, buddy.
Cheers, bud.
It just smells like the Driftless Glen rye. I should have rinsed that better. I just can't stop smelling that rye.
But it's the next one that I have that I'm putting on the bar is 144 proof.
Oh, nice.
So it's one of the higher proofs that I've seen. I'm interested to try it, but Coy Hill has not done it for me now. I've had 6 different proofs, and it has not done it for me.
Cade, go ahead and screenshot this. Apparently, Tom will pay for your wife's, or sorry, Tom will pay for your mom's services. So I just gonna screenshot this right here. Tom is willing to pay for your mom's services to get a Jack Daniels bottle. I'll make sure everyone Everyone knows Tom's looking for Cade's mom's services for Jack Daniels.
But that being said, it's not really something that I want to go wait in line for.
Yeah.
Right? For me, it's not.
For us, it's 4 hours, 4, 3, 5.
Right.
And again, I already have a single barrel.
It's a bit of a trek.
Allegedly, Cade, if you are still in here, dude, allegedly tickets at 6, open at 8. So 6 o'clock ain't gonna do it for you, buddy. Or maybe it would. Maybe that'd be like the perfect time to get there. We'll find out. I can't wait to see if he messages me and tells me if he goes or not.
So what's this about Popeye's
I would love,
chicken
dude, it'd be
for
so
next
cool.
show?
Popeye's chicken for next show. I think people are in.
I'm down to clown. You know?
Why not?
You know?
We'll talk sometime this week and figure out if we need to get other chicken sandwiches. Do like a
It'd be the cluck off. The Louisville cluck off.
What if the episode was best bourbon to pair with the Popeyes chicken sandwich?
Okay, I will tell you this. You know about the Instagram account Whiskey Mutant?
Yeah.
Okay. So I
catch him in is it no, I'm thinking of Barrel. I'm thinking of Ian. It's not Ian. But yeah, I'm familiar.
But I used to do, you could go back, you could follow my Instagram account. You can go back. I used to do weird fucked up pairings of things. Man, I'm swearing now, I got liquor in me. I used to do weird pairings of things with whiskey because nobody was doing it. And then Whiskey Mutant came along and started doing it. I was like, you know what? I'm not going to do this anymore. This is his space. I'm going to let him live in his space. But I was going to do a Girl Scout pairing this year because I did one last year and the year before. And he did it already. And I was like, yeah, I'm going to let him. I'm going to let him have his space. I'm going to let him do it.
He does stuff with Perry, right? This is my bourbon.
Mm-hmm.
At Alex.
But it's fun.
Tom,
it's fun.
The deal, dude. Here's here Eric Sawyer's right. Like, I understand people got the convictions of why they will and will not patron Chick-fil-A. All I'm saying, dude, chicken sandwich slaps. But being able to make the replica is great because all you got to do is just like soak in like an F ton of like pickle sauce.
It's MSG.
Bread it.
It's not pickle juice. It's MSG.
But if you do it in pickle juice and then bread it in literally anything, almond flour, regular flour,
MSG. MSG is what they
rinds.
use. It's not pickle juice. It's MSG.
All right, I will totally get Popeye. Okay, looks like next. I gotta look on my calendar, make sure next Thursday is right. Looks like next Thursday we're all eating Popeyes for the show, and we're going to collectively. It's totally fine. If I got you a free chicken sandwich, Tom, would you eat it? So we wouldn't be supporting him at all. I would use a reward, and no money would be transferred. Would you eat a chicken sandwich live on Instagram? I'm just curious. So next Thursday, we'll plan on doing best whiskey to pair with a Popeyes chicken sandwich. Everyone, if you were able to, prepare with your own Popeyes chicken sandwich and your own pairings list, and we'll have a good time.
Kyle said MSG for life. I'm about you, Kyle. I'm about you, Kyle. MSG slaps, bro.
But Tom is still, even if it's free, he won't do it.
I back that.
It's okay.
I back that.
Stand by your convictions. I like that.
That's what it's about.
Yep.
Cool. So Popeyes and whiskey.
It looks like it.
I've not had Popeyes before, so this is going to be fun. I think I'm going to have to grab a couple of chicken sandwiches to get through this.
Get some biscuits too, because the biscuits are fire there too.
Is the one Popeyes we have the one that's over kind of by Costco? Is that the only one that's around here?
It's not the only one, but there is one over there.
Is that the closest one?
Yeah, it's probably the closest for us. And then it's got me kind of tempted to go get some Bojangles too. Maybe another episode. I don't know. We'll see. We'll see if it gets crazy. I'm down to clown. So we'll see. Cool. Well, on that note, I mean, I don't even see how we can get like what we can even do to like top the anticipation of next week. So, I could keep going because I don't work tomorrow because I'm taking off in reflection of 4th of July because America.
Are you celebrating 4th of July this year?
I don't know, dude. So,
can I get political with you for a second?
Yeah, sure. Go ahead.
It'll be brief. I'm not celebrating 4th of July this year. America fucked up. Sorry for the language. America fucked up. Not celebrating, not doing anything, not grilling, not barbecuing, not watching fireworks. I'm not doing
Not
it.
on the stream next week because he's moving to Mexico. Sorry, guys. He's it's just gonna be me eating chicken sandwiches like a fat ass. But
yeah, I'm not. Monday Sucks is supposed to start up again on that day. I don't know if we're actually going to do it, but I'm definitely not. I feel like the bull crap that we've been dealing with and going through, it's not something that I want to celebrate and be a part of. So there we go.
Tom, you got to come to Louisville. We have Chick-fil-A, Popeyes, Shoney's, Bojangles all within like 15 minutes of each other.
They are.
So Popeyes. I've got Tim. There's a Popeyes right down the street from me, which might be closer. I got one on Preston Highway. There might be a Popeyes close to you downtown, but I would guarantee Preston is probably closer to you than Bardstown Road. It's just on the other side of the Waterson Expressway, right by my house. Yeah. There's a Chick-fil-A. I couldn't actually tell you where the closest Chick-fil-A is, but there is a Shoney's 2 exits up from me, and there's a Bojangles like headed towards Bardstown, but not going all the way to. It's in like
the one the Popeyes on Bardstown is closer than the one in Preston.
Oh, well, okay, that's fine.
By almost a half a mile.
Oh, that's very little metric. that's not that much closer.
But I will say, driving wise, the Popeyes on Preston is closer as far as drive wise goes.
This dude's looking for Tom Lynch is looking for a heart attack come August because he's going to get Chick-fil-A, Popeye, Shoney's, and Bojangles in one day.
I've been to one of those of 3 places. I've only done Chick-fil-A.
This live is going to change your life and your arteries. so
I can finally see what all the fuss is about.
Yeah. I do not promote heart attacks or gluttony on the show. I'm just saying it. Please eat in moderation. I mean, drink whatever the heck you want, but please, by all means, eat in moderation. Can control your cholesterol and your.
Here's the thing: you could do a chicken sandwich from each place and cut it into fourths and have a triangle of each place. It'd be fine.
Mm-hmm. I can't believe we're still even talking about Shoney's, really, honestly. But I can't get those French toast sticks out of my head now.
I don't know what Shoney's is.
It was a breakfast buffet. Dude, they had all you can eat French toast sticks.
What is Shoney's?
It's a breakfast buffet. We used to
go. My family gets on
time.
About this too. They start talking about Shoney's. I'm like, what is Shoney's?
We see where they have them. Oh my gosh, it looks so. Why does it look so old? Why does it look so terrible still? Oh, it looks so bad. It's a delicious food and friendly services since 1947. It literally looks like it's not been updated since 1947. Yeah, there's one right. Is this by? Yep, it's right by me. It's right by the airport. Shoney's literally right here. And then there's not another one. It's right by me. It's right off of like Fern Valley Road. And that's where. No, that's not where Popeyes is. Anyway, they're all still relatively close to me. Y'all are funny. Y'all got some funny stuff going on. Oh my goodness. I don't even know what I'm doing anymore. Okay.
Oh, there you go. There's your Shoney's breakfast buffet.
Yeah, dude, those eggs are the worst. Oh my God, dude, you know what my least favorite thing is about a breakfast buffet? That? My least favorite thing about a breakfast buffet is when you get syrup on eggs. There is not much else worse in life than eating syrup on eggs. Just gonna say it. I mean, I've probably had a McGriddle before,
dude,
and I think that's the one thing I don't.
I had my first McGriddle. I had my first McGriddle over family vacation.
It's the exception. That's the exception. Other than that, if you have syrup on eggs, it's a travesty. 2 things on eggs that are travesty: ketchup.
I was going to ask you where you're at on the ketchup situation with eggs.
No, dude, I'm not I can't do that. It's like putting ketchup on a steak.
Can't.
I can't do that.
So the bourbon group that I hung out with this last weekend, they were staying at Embassy Suites that's downtown.
Cheers,
and
Cade.
Apparently, later,
Sorry
buddy.
you can't make it. If you're able to make it, good luck to you. Have a good night, dude.
But Embassy Suites on the third floor, they have like this whole breakfast buffet that they put out every morning, and their eggs are rehydrated powdered eggs. They were fucking terrible. The only redeeming quality to that entire like buffet, first of all, it was free for me because I didn't stay there.
Yes.
Second of all, they had like an omelet station where you could like make your own omelet. I did that. I was about that. But powdered eggs rehydrated, not the play, man. Not the play.
I'm just gonna say it, dude. I don't know if it's because Drew's not here or what, but you've made some sketchy comments tonight. Okay, you've said some things you shouldn't have said. You have said some things that you should have said that I shouldn't have highlighted, and then you also have some questionable opinions. So I'm fine with the Chick-fil-A thing, but the ketchup on eggs thing just will not stand. And I feel like I have to check you on that.
What about mustard on eggs?
I've never tried that, but I like mustard on a pretzel, so it's probably the same thing.
You make like an egg sandwich and you put mustard on it? I don't know. I feel like we're going into territory that we could go another hour for.
I don't even know why anyone would do that.
What, an egg sandwich?
Mustard on egg sandwich?
Fuck yeah, dude!
You are crazy,
2 pieces of bread toasted with an egg and mustard.
Maybe that must be some straight edge thing.
Yeah, maybe it's because I grew up without any money.
Well, good night, nation.
All right, that's the game, everybody. See you later.
Tom is not a fan of that.
This is coming from a guy who puts ketchup on eggs.
Dude, Eric, how do you live so close to Chicago and you'll still put ketchup on a hot dog instead of tomato? You are literally the worst, man. You guys make some terrible food calls. Terrible food calls. You are so close to everyone in the Vienna Beef Hall of Fame, and you're still out here talking about putting ketchup on a hot dog. Like they're not going to come after you.
All right, do you mess with hot dogs?
I love hot dogs, dude.
Okay, how do you eat your hot dog?
Like asking if I boil it or if I grill it?
No. Not talking about cooking process, okay? The hot dog has been cooked. It's in the bun. It's ready for you to consume. How do you dress it?
So I got this from Cincinnati. I'll put on some mustard, some mayo, some barbecue sauce, and a pickle spear.
Okay. I could party with all those things. Funny thing though is ever since Rebecca and I have been married, I now no longer dress my hot dog because she doesn't put anything on it. It's hot dog and bun. That's it.
You just ride it solo.
Just go for it. I remember the first time I saw her doing this, like, what are you doing?
Yeah.
She goes, it's the best way to eat it. I was like, okay.
Dude, I'm not gonna lie. I've gotten to that. I've gotten to the life like that with Kristen sometimes. Sometimes if we go somewhere or like she's ordering something to eat, she's like, "What do you want?" I'm like, "Just put the number 2 next to it." Like I don't even care.
It.
Like I'll just eat whatever you're eating. You want the burger dressed the same way? I literally don't want to tell you anything else. Just make it 2. Just make it a double. Like I don't want to modify it to anything that I would personally prefer to eat. I'd rather not think about it, and you just put a number 2 next to it.
There's sometimes it just makes it easier, man. You don't have to mess with anything. You don't have to think about anything.
Have you been because you're close to it? Have you been to Red Hot is it Red Hot Dogs? What is it called?
I know what you're talking about, but I have not. I've not been there.
Red Top.
Red Top. Yes, Red Top. The designer hot dog place.
Okay, hold on. We're going to talk about some Red Top dogs. I can't believe you haven't been there because you were so close. So one of my favorite, Red Top is a gourmet hot dog place that's in between where I live and where Tim lives. And let's go over some of these hot dogs that they have on their menu. One of my personal favorites, the black and blue cheese spread, bourbon grilled onions,
Ooh.
smoked bacon, and a local blackberry jam on the hot dog. Another fun one, Germantown.
Oh my God, I didn't realize I was that close to Red Top.
Germantown Gouda beer cheese, bourbon grilled onions,
5 minutes away,
apple bacon sauerkraut, and a bourbon molasses. I cannot believe you haven't been to this place yet. And then another good one, the Tatanka. It's a veggie. It's a veggie. I don't know.
I know why I haven't been there, because the days that they're closed are the days that I'm off. That's why I have not been there yet.
Designer hot dogs. I don't think I said designer hot dogs. I think I said gourmet hot dogs.
I said designer. Okay. You said gourmet. I said designer.
I just said whatever's on the website. And then another place I used to go in Cincinnati. Actually, Thomas, there is Tom's all about this. Hey, Tom, promise you, next time you come in, we'll go to Red Top. There is a hot dog place because not Bakersfield. Shoot, what's the hot dog place I used to go to in Cincinnati? I thought there was one in Columbus now. Give me 1 second to remember what the hot dog place is that I used to go to. I remember waiting 3.5 hours.
Beer cheese oh, dude, you know what? I get off early tomorrow. I might have to go check this out.
Yeah. I'm actually quite impressed, Nation, with how long we've been talking about food on the stream, and you all still hooking out. Oh,
there's still a decent of people hanging out too.
Tom, he said, stop talking about Cincy hot dogs, and Kyle said he's going to bed. So night, Kyle. Thanks for chatting.
Bye, Kyle.
Thanks for chilling. Senate. I don't remember if there's a Senate in Columbus. Maybe there's just hot dogs.
Skyline.
So
the
Senate that I
Skyline. Ugh.
The Senate that I used to Senate that I used to go to, they had one. They had fresh market oysters. I wasn't really big into oysters by the time that I went there. I should have. They had poutine, which was really good. And they had roasted marrow bones that were good. Let's talk about some of these hot dogs. Okay, they had one called Lindsay Lohan that I was a big fan of. It was a beef hot dog with goat cheese, caramelized onions, bacon, arugula, balsamic, and then it says tons of drama. But I'm pretty sure those are onion straws. Or the Trailer Park, which was a beef hot dog with applewood bacon, American cheese, coleslaw, and crushed Grippos. Are you freaking kidding me? Amazing. So, Senate is a whole vibe. So good hot dogs there. I waited 3.5 hours one time on my birthday. I went and I saw, since we were talking about music, what's their name? It was like some witch house band. They just put out a new album. They're different now. Let me go through my 2022 list real quick. But anyway, I caught them playing before or after food. It might have been after. What was that band's name? I hadn't listened to them a couple of years because their music kind of isn't really the same. But 3.5 hours, ate my Senate hot dog, and then caught this band play during a good run to have caught them. And it will only take me probably 1 more minute to remember what their name is. And I can't play the music because on the first live stream that I went solo on, I got hey, we're not taking your video down or anything, but just letting you know we're investigating a copyright claim. I'm like, a copyright claim with royalty-free music? Good luck with that, sucker. Nothing ever came from it. But after that, I've been like, oh, I probably shouldn't play tracks or anything like that for the fear of someone taking my video down. Oh, it's getting closer. I know it's inching up on a minute, and I'm not there yet, but thanks for your patience. I'm almost to this album. I can feel it in my bones, unless it just didn't get added to this playlist, in which I'm screwed. So, It was after the Tori Moy album. It was after the Jack Harlow album. It was after the Check 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 album. It was after the Smile album. I know it's after all of these albums. So I know that it was after the Harry Styles album, and it was after the Wilco album. I'm over a minute for sure. So I've let everyone out. Purity Ring.
What you know
Purity
about
Ring? Cop Purity Ring.
Tom's over talking about Dirty Franks. What you know about Dirty Franks?
That was a Chicago place, wasn't it?
Dirty hot dog water. Okay, wait a second. Yeah. Is Dirty Franks the name of a place?
I thought Dirty was a Chicago place, but maybe I'm wrong. Apparently it's a hot dog.
There's this thing where it's called Dirty Hot Dog Water. And it's like across the board, what all the hot dog places do is they boil all the hot dogs and then they save the water and recycle it to the next day and boil all the hot dogs in it again.
I don't need no sour mash hot dogs. I mean, I probably wouldn't notice the difference, but
Dirty hot
holy
dog.
crap, Dirty Frank's has a ton of hot dogs. Have I been here before?
Dirty Frank's is a hot dog place. Okay, does Dirty Frank's do dirty hot dog water? Is that like their thing?
Dude, Dirty Frank's has 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20, 21, 22, 23, 24, 25, 26, 27, 28, 29 regular dogs and 5 premium dogs. They have $5 Wiener Wednesdays, which is probably when Tom likes to go.
Oh, shit.
I mean, why wouldn't you for the special? For the special. So you just get it. It's just a special, you know? Features a dog. It's a dog and fries.
Is it an Ohio thing?
I'm saying. I guess so. Looks like it's Columbus, Ohio. I'll have to go there next time I'm in Columbus, which I was talking about being in this weekend, but just Kristen and the kids are coming up. That's why you were asking me if I was going to celebrate 4th of July. Not really. Okay. My son has been with my grandparents, Kristen's parents, his grandparents. They came down and watched them while we went to Nashville, and then they took him back for the week. And so we were going to go up and pick him up and then watch some fireworks up there. But it's also my mom and dad's wedding anniversary on Saturday. And so my sisters were like, someone should do something with mom. And so I said, Kristen, I was like, can I just stay home this weekend? So I'm around and I can like take mom out to dinner or something like that. And so I'm going to stay in town and hang out with her. So I'm not going to be able to drink this hot dog bong water at Dirty Mike's or whatever this place is called. But sorry, but I will be down here. And you know what? I think I'm probably going to take myself over to Hot Top and eat a hot dog this weekend. So
let me know, because I think I might do it tomorrow, actually.
Yeah, that sounds good. That sounds good. Tomorrow might not be in the cards for me, but it might be. So I'll figure it out. I mean, it's so close to Toasties too, and I know you like Toasties.
Oh, dude, I had Toasties today.
Yeah, it's super close.
Yeah, okay.
Tom, gosh, like I said, just put some asterisks up or something like that before your comments, so I know which ones to highlight, which ones not to highlight. Because otherwise, I'm just gonna. I see that show button pop up on a new comment. I'm just like click. So, anyway. Okay, guys, here's the deal. You all have stuck around. I applaud you. Thank you so much. Thanks for chatting. Thanks for giving Tim some love. If you want to keep seeing him on here, just leave comments when the video goes public or goes posted or whatever it is. And we have now been on for 2.5 hours. It's 11:30 here, as with most of you, because only like Nimrods like Drew were in, Central Standard Time. So I am not going to go to sleep yet. I will be what I like to call the after hours, not the afterglow like you do. I'm going to call it the after hours. After hours is basically where I just keep drinking while I sit in my chair, and you could message me on Instagram. So I'm not going live on Instagram. And I'm sure it's not giving Bourbon any more bourbon finding tips because he's not going to read them. But feel free to shoot me a line on Instagram, handles down below. And follow Tim. handles below his name as well. I'll try and get another one of these made up, and I can put your stuff over in the bottom too. I don't know if people ever realize that, and it's like, oh, Instagram, YouTube, and Bourbon, whatever. But yeah, this is what's funny. Tom is you're not exactly wrong, Tom. It's basically just you and Eric lighting up my chat. So thanks as always. But
I think I'm
fun.
I think I'm going to pour myself some more whiskey and abuse your text messages on your phone.
Yeah, let's do it. I don't know what I'm going to pour, but thanks again. You can see I didn't actually pour that much. You know my pours, Eric. So there's still a whole lot of big deck energy here. There's a whole deck. There's a lot of money invested in the wood for this deck energy. Still here. So I just got to make sure it actually still gets to you. I might tuck it back here so I don't forget. I got to put this box back over there with Drew's box. Drew is amassing a box. Damn it, Tom! You didn't put the asterisks again. Ugh. So anyway,
Something about
I definitely know I'm not pouring more of this Jack. Not that I don't like it, but you know, Cade didn't. He's not committed. So I'm not going to keep cheering something with that. But that's what I didn't even get to talk about. We didn't even get to talk about it. Did I grab you the other duality, or did you just not get a duality when those popped up?
Didn't get one.
I'd be curious to hear what your thoughts are on this, because I'm not gonna lie, I shared it with one of my buddies, and he says it tastes like small, like 70s motorhome on fire.
Well, I mean, if you
So
want
I'd
to
be
bring
really curious to hear.
you want to bring me some tomorrow and get some red top, let me know.
Yeah, I think we can do that. I'm gonna pour some right now, regret it, and go sit down on the chair and chill. Nation, you all stay happy, stay healthy, stay safe. I want to leave it. If Tim has any more parting things to say before I kick it to the exit video.
No, I mean, I had a lot of fun doing this. Brian and I have actually been toying with this, I think, for like 3 weeks now. He told me, we're going to go live. And I was like, bro, I'd love to hang out. We haven't really got to hang out. The pandemic has kind of like threw a wrench in our hangout plans. So even though it's not in person, hanging out and talking and BSing with you has always been one of my favorite things. So,
yes, sir. Glad we could do it. All right, Nation.
Thanks. Appreciate
we will. I'll send you off with a little bit of the video, and then we'll close it.
Too late for a second, yes. Too late to go back to sleep. What? It's time to trust my.
Okay. Well. Just
I think I'll try to find gravity, and you can't pull me down. Can't you understand?
Who would you cite as some of your musical influences?
I get a lot of guitar tapping techniques from Dave Knudsen from Minus the Bear. I'm listening to a lot of Godspeed You Black Emperor, Zeros, Explosions in the Sky, stuff like that.
It's almost over, it's just begun.